Welcome, everybody! I am back! The long-awaited return. Mark is back. But guys, where the hell's Corey? I come all the way back from Detroit, to Detroit, from Texas. Welcome home, cheater. Thanks, Morgan. Also, Dr. Smooth for resubscribing, and Naughty Grace just subscribed on an 8-month streak. Holy moly. Thank you so much. And Ames, like 5 minutes before stream even started, gifted a sub to John. So thank you so much. It's been so long. It has been a minute, yeah. I finally have returned after my long voyage across America to Texas. I traveled, I dedicated my life to film, and all I have to show for it is this silly hat. But, chat, you guys read the notification? Where the hell's Corey? He's supposed to be here. Like, do you guys have any idea where he might be? His return from Texas as a hat guy. Kelsey Weasel gifted a sub to Peanut. Holy moly. Thank you so much, Kelsey. I like you in a hat, IDK, if I've ever seen it. Yes, this is maybe my first time ever wearing a hat on the channel. But guys, I'm kind of annoyed. Corey was supposed to be here right at 4 at our start time, so I'm gonna give him a ring and see what's up. I'll put him on speaker, I suppose. We'll have a live Board Gamers where are you? A wellness check. Let's see if he answers. If he doesn't, that's hilarious. Dallas with the 2 bits. Holy moly. Good hat color on you. Thank you. Like,
you're on stream right now.
Hi, Corey. You are also on stream right now.
Well, what the fuck? There's like 2 of us.
I know. I'm calling for a bit of a wellness check right now. Where are you?
I'm singing Limp Bizkit.
You're singing Limp Bizkit. Corey, we're supposed to be live on Board Gamers right now.
What's today?
Yeah, it's every Monday.
All my phones are ringing off the hook right now. Fucking forgot. Oh my god, I head right over, Mark.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, get here as fast as you can.
I'm gonna break so many laws on my way there.
You better. This is important.
I promise.
Alright, talk to you soon, Corey.
Alright,
Bye. Well, chat, if any of you happen to not know, Corey is in the middle of doing a subathon that he is graciously taking a break from to come join us on this stream. Streamception with both open. It is, in fact, the start to a PBS show. So, yes, Corey, I believe, is stopping the timer for the subathon in order to come over here and do some additional live content, for free, not affecting the timer, and participating in a normal Board Gamer stream before returning to the normal subathon. If you guys have not been watching Corey's subathon, it has been quite fun. I watched a good bit of it today and a good bit last night. That's why I do sing along for songs I don't know. Yes, Corey has been doing karaoke. I believe I was the first karaoke redeem, at least the first one I saw. Could have been other ones, but it's the first one I saw. Don't redeem karaoke if he doesn't know the song. I thought Corey nailed singing Stateside. Having never heard the song in his life and only listening to 30 seconds of it, I think he nailed it pretty good. Especially during the part where they're like, and he just kind of screamed. Can we redeem karaoke on here? No, you cannot. Because I don't like karaoke. Mark, please sing Possum Kingdom. I don't actually know that one. I'm talking about from My Way. Corey didn't know My Way? Like the classic one of I Did It My Way, that song, he didn't know that one? That's kind of surprising. Whoa, Blimby just subscribed, been subscribed for 11 months. Ignore this, I'm on my way, I swear. Yeah, put your dang subscription thumbs down and grip onto a steering wheel, Buster. You gotta get to Detroit quick. My Way by Limp Bizkit. Okay, that'll explain it. The other My Way. Not Frank Sinatra, Limp Bizkit. They are often confused. They say Frank Sinatra is much like the Limp Bizkit of the past. I have heard people say this. Oh, also, I'll advertise Blimby a little bit more as they're doing their subathon. The excitement that you missed last night was, first off, you got to meet a new character, Grant, who I don't think has been on the streams before. Longtime friend of ours. His Blimby will return by 7 p.m., hopefully. Yes, but not only did you guys meet Grant, there's a return of Brian, Devin, and a smug John lurking in chat the entire night, which was quite ominous. I didn't know that John was going to be around, and I hopped in. I'm like, oh, hey, John's here. What's he saying? I read like 3 comments, and he's talking about, I'm in the caves. I'm in the caves with my females going monk style. I'm like, oh, golly. And that's why we don't have John on the show, because he says things like that. So we work together to create the exclamation point John, which issues a pre-written apology on John's behalf, which I think is a good bit. It's different in the caves. It's not. That's not true. The caves will change you. Does he love MILFs or does he hate them? Unsure. And then, yeah, people were going in some very personal stories about John and trying to answer that question of whether or not he likes MILFs, which unfortunately I think there's a very, very clear answer to that. We talking in cheese caves? We're not talking about the cheese caves. Sick hat, Mark. Thank you. Guess where I got it? At the airport. No, I'm joshing. I got it at the festival. But they did at the Austin airport have a whole bunch of allegedly exclusive South by merch. And I'm like, I doubt that what they have is any more exclusive than what they had at the festival. How was the festival? It was really good. Why is that unfortunate, Mark? Because you shouldn't know that much about John. Okay, that's why it's unfortunate. It has nothing to do with it being good or bad to be attracted to MILFs. That was not appropriate conversation to be having about someone who's not even on stream to defend themselves. At least he didn't pull a Jemmy and make the MILFs lose their watch streaks. That is still significantly worse. Little Steve asking about the festival. I am saving most of the stories for when Corey gets here, because Corey picked me up from the airport, and we had a long chat on the drive back from the airport, and then the following day we went to IHOP together and chatted for like 2 hours as well. But despite all of that, I refused to tell him most of my stories about the festival, and he didn't want to hear them anyway because we're saving it for when we're all on stream together. Jeremy Streak apology. Yes, that redeem doesn't work here, unfortunately. But, yeah, so when Corey gets here, I will hopefully have lots of stories to tell. It was quite the event. It was like 8 days long, and then 2 days of travel as well. Got to spend a lot of time with the film crew, which is nice. Did you make it to a Buc-ee's? Maz, you're gonna be so disappointed. I didn't make it to shit. Like, I need to be so for real. If it wasn't in walking distance of the house we were staying at, I did not make it there. So like, there's stuff that I really wanted to see Buc-ee's.
Jeremy!
Mark, you dumb bitch. Is this in reference to Buc-ee's? Is that why you're saying that?
What the hell, man?
Really passionate about Buc-ee's, this guy. Yo, welcome in, Meep. Good to see ya. Yes, we're waiting for Corey to get here, but no, I didn't make it to Buc-ee's. I didn't even really make it to any Tex-Mex places. We went to like some restaurants. I'll get more into it when I'm doing the stories with Corey, but we had a very interesting food experience while we were there. It's me, the all-powerful Meepinator. Welcome in, holding down the YouTube chat for us. We'll do a Buc-ee's trip because I want to go too. Okay. All right, that'll be perfect. We'll plan a Board Gamers Buc-ee's trip. Did Corey get black bagged for his coup? Oh, okay. I understand what you're asking. Did they like put a bag over his head and take him away for the coup d'etat he tried to pull on Board Gamers? Yes, he did. They have them out back behind the barn, and we are printing out a new Corey shortly. No forks. I had so many forks. I had an unbelievable amount of forks. Can't believe you were within range of a Buc-ee's and didn't go. I wasn't in range. If I was in range, there'd be one in walking distance. We didn't even pass any. I'd never laid eyes on a Buc-ee's. I think the closest one was like a 40-minute drive away. I was not driving anywhere. What has chat thought about my fun facts recently? I do see the fun facts in the Discord. They are quite fun. Did you ride a bike? I didn't even ride a bike. I was actually just walking the entire trip. I was probably walking around 7 miles a day, at least. There were a bunch of different theaters all around that we were going to, and most of them were like 40 minutes away. How do you eat tacos with a fork? Easily. Easy question. So first off, I prefer soft shell tacos. But when I do hard shell tacos, what I do is I set it down, stabilize with a knife, and just kind of crush it a little bit with the fork, and then I scoop up, bits of the shell and the bits of the meat and the cream cheese, not cream cheese, sour cream all together. Did you eat tacos with a fork? Oh, sorry, I misread it. No, I'm not a big fan of tacos. So much different answer than what you were expecting. Eel who eats hard shell tacos. You are objectively correct that soft shell tacos are better than hard shell tacos, with the sole exception of the Doritos ones. Mark, welcome back. Thank you, Mystique. I'm glad to be back. It feels nice to be able to chat with stream again. I feel like hard shells are more popular. They are. That's not tacos, that's nachos with extra steps. No, it is actually its distinct own classification of things called a walking taco. Is what it falls into. A bit unconventional of a walking taco, but it is a real thing. We missed you. I genuinely missed being able to stream with you guys. I was a little bit jealous every time I would open up my phone and see like Morgan and Corey doing the show here without me, or Jeremy doing it. Yo, Blimby raiding with a party of 17. Blimby, why are you not here? Hopefully that notification's coming in late or something. Have you looked under the table for Corey? Oh, thanks, Goofy Ball Hunter. I'll check. No, he wasn't there either. He is a sneaky one, so I wouldn't put it past him. A walking taco without the walking? Yeah, it's a stationary walking taco, if you will. Is Corey just now leaving? I'm hoping not. I can stall for a while, but not that long of a while. I guess red light teehee. Corey, after all the lecturing you do, after how many times you scolded and timed out people for streaming while driving, you're gonna sit here in our chat and do this. Ridiculous. Have you checked behind the door? Board goes, you're gonna have to check that for me. All right, he's going. He's opening the door. A thorough look. Second thorough look. Welcome back. What'd you see?
No, Corey.
We're gonna keep doing this bit for the next 40 minutes. We're gonna find new places to look for Corey. Get banned. Ran a red light as I typed this. All right, well, Jeremy, we can't control you. You can do what you want, but I can scold Corey for this. Guess who with chat? Not a bad idea. Bring out Phoebe. She was in a mood earlier. She was being very loud with her meowing, which I guess isn't out of the ordinary. It's just she's doing it more than usual. Oh, also, yeah, I guess I can tell this now. When I got home, normally when you go on a trip and you have cats are not like dogs. Dogs, when you've been away for a while and you come back, dogs will be so excited to see you. They'll be jumping all over you. They'll be like, shaking and everything because they missed you so much. Cats' brains don't exactly work the same. Yo, Maz gifted a sub to Morgan. Whoa, holy moly. Thank you so much, Maz. She thinks you're being too loud today. Fun fact, Mark, Codenames did a RPG collab with Critical Role, so co-op Codenames with Level Ups. Oh, I need to check that out. But, oh, yeah, with cats in general, they tend to not, jump over you the same way when you get home after being away. And I think the reason why, I read a little bit about this, it's because cats don't have memories the same way that like we do, where they don't necessarily remember specific events. Instead, they kind of remember a general vibe of how they feel when being around you. So when you go away for a while, typically that starts to build a negative association in their head because they miss you. So when they see you again, it's not all of a sudden, oh, you're back, I'm happy. It's they're still remembering that residual, but you left me. So I wasn't expecting much, but Phoebe ran right up to me when I came in. I came in the middle of the night, she ran right up to me. I sat down on one of the stools by like our kitchen table, and she climbed onto my lap, and the stool was like too small for her to be there. So she was like hanging off the edge while half on my lap. And then when I went to bed, she followed me into my room and slept on top of my chest. And I'm like, oh, this is nice. I wasn't expecting it. I was always told that when you go away for a while, they think you died. That's possible too. I mean, it's very hard to ask the cat what they think. I did try. I just got Thomas's message about the new Codenames with Level Ups. I am excited to see that. And if you die in the presence, they will eat you. That is their right. I mean, like, why shouldn't they? Why should the poor little kitty starve? You're already dead. You know, they have no concept of, like, desecrating a grave. It's like, oh, dead, gotta eat now. And I'm pretty sure most dogs would too. Dogs eat people alive when they get hungry. So if you die in front of a hungry cat, I think it's fine that they eat you. Who cares? Good day, fine folk. Thank you so much. Combo number 5. Good to see you. We are waiting for Corey's arrival right now. I'm stalling a little bit. I want to eat my cat if he died, even if I'm hangry.
But it's close.
It's close, yeah. You consider it.
Not even if I'm angry.
Look, humans are animals that have a concept of ritualistic, like, burials for their dead. I believe elephants have that too, and a few other animals. Cats do not have that, and that's not a fault of their own. That's just how they were raised. It's how nature coaxed them to be. So you cannot fault a cat for being a little hangry at times. But I'm not sure how much longer we have for Corey, but I guess one of the stories that I can tell about my trip, because I did tell this one to Corey already when we were out at IHOP, was when I was getting ready for this trip. Our director, Sarah, she was talking about, we had a 6-hour layover in Fort Lauderdale in Florida, and you know, it's gonna be a long, boring layover, but I was prepared for it. And she's like, oh well, if we're looking for something to do, I have a rich uncle who lives in Fort Lauderdale, right by the airport. We could hang out at his mansion. And I was kind of like, yeah, sure, we could do that, maybe. I mentioned this to Board Ghost. I'm like, yeah, Sarah kind of wants to leave the airport during the layover to go hang out at her rich uncle's house. Board Ghost goes, you're not leaving the airport. He's like, are you stupid? It's only a 6-hour layover. It's a long time. It's not that long. It is moronic to leave the airport during a layover and have to like go back through security again. I'm like, yeah, that makes sense. I mentioned it to my mom. She says the same exact thing of, it's not smart to leave the airport, especially right now, because that was before I even realized we're in the middle of a government shutdown. There are massive lines at airports all over the country. TSA is not being paid right now. It's a little bit dangerous. In fact, when we were leaving to go to Fort Lauderdale from our Detroit airport, I got there at a good time. It was completely empty. I went through the metal detector with my belt still on. Like, I forgot my belt was on when I went through the metal detector. And they just went, whatever, and just waved me along. No, it's worse. It's worse than that, Board Ghost.
I was gonna say, it's a miracle you didn't come back riddled with bullet holes.
No, it is so much worse than that. Because I get there. I was the first one of my group there. I'm sitting waiting. Our two directors and Joe, the guy who did the music, come walking up. And I'm like, oh, I need to go find somewhere to fill up my water bottle. And Joe goes, really? They just let me in with mine. And holds up a completely full Nalgene. Like, filled to the brim with Detroit water. And he's like, oh yeah, they just let me in. I'm like, we're screwed. This isn't good. Was it a bullet belt? It wasn't. Like one of those cowboy belts that has like the little bullet holders on. Is that what you're talking about? No, it's like a normal one that holds up pants. What if Board Ghost is Corey in disguise? Maybe. So, yeah, so that was our initial experience. And like I said, in Detroit, there's absolutely no line to get through TSA. But there's no guarantee that we're going to be that lucky in Fort Lauderdale. So we land there, and Sarah, I guess, hadn't mentioned, she didn't even mention it to her uncle that we were landing there. And she's like, oh, well, maybe I could call him now. And me and Joe are both going, well, do we really think that's a good idea? Considering we could miss our flight and be absolutely screwed. We have no way of knowing how long the lines are going to be, and we're actively in a government shutdown. How about we get lunch and think this over? Which, if you're in the Discord, that's when you got the photos of us playing Uno at the table in the airport. Thinking more of a punk belt. No, it wasn't that. And I was thinking to myself, I'm like, well, now that we're getting lunch, surely this is killing enough time. This whole conversation about going and leaving the airport is gonna be nipped in the bud now. No, because Sarah lets her mom know that we landed in Fort Lauderdale, and she goes, "You're in Fort Lauderdale? Where your uncle is? Did you tell him?" And the mom reaches out to the uncle, who goes, "We're dropping what we're doing. Me and your cousin are gonna come pick you up." Joe astutely points out, they're dropping what they're doing. It's 1 p.m. on a Wednesday. Like, what do you mean they're dropping what they're doing to pick us up? And so Sarah's like, well, I don't want to make you guys uncomfortable. Like, I don't want to be uncomfortable, but like, what do you think about going and seeing the mansion? And at this point, me and Joe are like, well, I think we've both expressed multiple times that we are, in fact, uncomfortable with this. But the wheels seem to be in motion. So the options are split the group at this point or stay together. I'm like, whatever. We're all going down with the ship here as we proudly and excitedly march out of the airport, passing through the TSA ominously to go outside to be picked up by this rich uncle. Not the Charlotte airport. That place sucks. I would have let that ship sink. I probably should have, I'll be honest. But believe it or not, I know I have a little bit of a reputation on this channel for being the mom keeping people in line. That does occasionally extend to real life as well. And so it was kind of my job to keep them on track enough to make sure we could reasonably get to the flight. When the uncle was picking us up, they're like, oh, don't worry, we're only 7 minutes from the airport. You're completely fine, we're 7 minutes away. The moment they pull away, I start a timer on my phone. And we pull up, and I lean over to the director and I go, Lincoln's 15 minutes, not 7. We need to account for this. And he's like, okay, noted. Mark mom emote, exactly. Was the mansion cool at least? Mansion was crazy. It was wild. We pulled up to this mansion. I've like been to mansions before, and I'm like, this is rich. This is, I think they looked it up on Zillow, and it was over $50 million, the house. It was on the water in Fort Lauderdale. It was on the water with these like massive yachts. They had yachts parked in this bay area that were bigger than my house. It probably took like I would guess a 10-person crew to operate some of these yachts that were parked there. We walk in, they have this beautiful chessboard. And if you guys have seen like custom chessboards before, they get pricey. I would probably estimate it was a $10,000 chessboard if I were to guess. I don't know. But we see it, and me and Lincoln both play chess, and we ask, oh, hey, you play chess? And he looks at it and goes, oh, no, I think my nephew might. Walks away. I'm like, oh, cool. Neat. Did you say the uncle was single? I didn't say that. Now, I don't think I'm at liberty to say like what he does for a living on this live. I think I'll probably keep that secret, but it wouldn't be far off to say blood diamond mines. Think of equivalents to that. That's what he does. That's where the money comes from. He probably has personal friends who run blood diamond mines. He had servants in the house and everything. It was wild. There are too many people live right now, don't know who to watch. I would recommend Board Gamers, personally, but I'm a little biased in that. So he has diamonds. Yeah, some of the people in our group were asking, like, is he single? Like, can we pull this off? But the whole time we're there, you know, we get a little tour of the house. He was very nice. And I'm constantly reminding the directors, I'm like, time check, 2:45, you know, time check, 3 o'clock. Doing all these things. Is he on the Epstein list? I hope not. I hope not. I'd recommend Blimby is late. Ban that person. Whoever said that. Sorry, Ames. But we continue the tour out to the water, and he goes, oh yeah, why don't you guys like take a little lap? We have like paddle boards. You could hop on the paddle boards. And Lincoln was like, oh yeah, that sounds fun. I'm like, Lincoln, I don't think it's a good idea. I don't think that's very wise to get on a paddleboard right now. Like, we have to leave very soon. You could lose track of time easily. And might I remind you, you do not have a change of clothes here. If you fall into the water, you are getting on this plane soggy. Like, this is not optimal decision making that we are doing currently. And as you guys saw from the photos in the Discord, Lincoln did, in fact, take off his shirt and hop on the paddleboard and go into the water, and did nearly fall, by the way. It was a miracle that he didn't fall off the board. But he starts, like, paddling around during our layover on the water on this paddleboard, which still to me is an insane way to spend a layover. Like, normal people don't do that.
Bro, anxiety's scared of him.
Well, it gets worse because they only had one like normal paddleboard, but the uncle's like, oh, hold on, you know, I'll be back. He gets one of like, I guess like the maids or whatever to go with him, and they come back out with 2 more paddleboards. These were special ones that I'd never seen them before. They basically had like bike pedals on them that you kind of like depress up and down, and it has these like fins underneath the water that like flap and like push it along. So you kind of ride it like a bike more than a paddle. Okay, I pull up. Killing Gamble and Corey will arrive. I think he blew up while streaming and driving. That's my guess. It's better than just sitting in an airport forever. Is it, Ames? I really don't mind sitting in an airport. Just like being on my phone for a few hours. That's perfectly fine by me. I really don't mind long layover waits. The stress was a little bit much. But he brings out these 2 other ones. And of course, our other director, Sarah, gets on one of the bike pedal ones and starts going out into the bay as me and Joe are left behind. And I'm watching our 2 directors just go further and further out into this alcove, middle of the day during our layover. During other airport waits, me and Mark would chat D&D. Have we been on a plane together? During other airport waits, me and Mark would chat D&D. Thomas, have we been on a plane together? I don't think that's correct. Am I misremembering? No, but you texted me. Oh, yes, I was texting Thomas about D&D during my other layover. Okay. Oh boy, I think Board Ghost is starting a poll. Mark's sitting there wishing they split up. Yeah. Well, they start. It's this big loop in this little alcove that we're in, and they start going along the outskirts, and they kind of like get to the edge, and then they start coming around, and they're chatting. They're chatting about the festival. They're chatting about like things that are coming up, and they round the corner to start like heading back towards the pier that they left from, and they see Joe sitting there, and I'm just gone. Like they don't even see me sitting outside anymore. And they start going, oh man, Mark must be really worried. Like Mark just left. Is he like waiting by the car or something? Like we need to get back quick. Mark's like freaking out right now. As they hear from behind them, hey guys, it was in fact me, also on a paddleboard, where I decided, screw it, whatever. And I hopped on the third and final one and caught up with them. They both said that upon seeing me out on the water with them, they both had just looks of terror in their eyes as they realized, oh no, we're missing this flight. Mark's the only responsible person here, and he's on a paddleboard.
I'm here. I heard you say responsible person. I'm here. I made it. I'm on time.
Hey! So I'll upload one of the stills in the Discord eventually of me, Sarah, and Lincoln, all three of us out on the water, foolishly. Completely just caution to the wind, whatever. Pay out the yes believers. Corey did in fact make it in time.
I want to point out I'm 2 for 2 to being on time today. 2 for 2.
I was impressed, yeah. I believed in you earlier.
Yeah, thank you. And you know what? You got rewarded handsomely for believing in your friend.
I did. I got like 27,000 channel points for that.
How many? There was only 10 bet on that one. How much did you bet?
10. So Ames ran 2 polls. She put up the first one, and like nobody really participated in it. And during the first poll, I put in I think 100 on that you'd be on time.
Okay.
And then the poll was refunded because nobody like saw it and participated. And the other one went up, and I'm like, oh, another poll, and that's when I just quickly put in the 10. I didn't realize that I was completely screwing over Hayden by doing that.
That's unfortunate.
But to be fair, I had established that I was already putting channel points on.
Shout out to Hayden, my other believer. The only people that got me.
Yeah, that was my 0. Let the record show I bet before you both times, but it's all right.
Damn,
I guess
man.
I can't really see when you bet before me, so I'll take your word on that. Yeah,
Oh, fuck, but I'm here now. Finally, reunited at last.
I know, it's been forever.
It's been forever. Corey, I've never wanted you to be late more. I'm always disappointing, whether I'm on time or late. I'm here to disappoint, baby. Oh.
I guess the final big plot twist, we did in fact make our flight back out of Fort Lauderdale.
I'm so glad you told this story. I had streamed like the audio playing on my ride here. I'm so glad you told the story because I mentioned earlier on stream that you had told me like 1 or 2 stories about your trip that you couldn't tell on stream. And I was like, yeah, there's one Mark told me that's really funny, but I don't know. It's my docs people, so I don't think he can tell it. That was the one I was talking about. So I'm very glad you got to share that story because I like that one a lot. Oh.
Damn, I'm already sick of this Courtney guy. Get him out of here. What?
That's Hayden's new bit.
Courtney?
Yeah, I don't know where it's come from. I don't know where it's gone. I don't think I've acknowledged it once today.
All great bits go unacknowledged.
That's what I say. That's what I say, dude.
Courtney. Okay, it's got 1 supporter.
Hitting the Clash of Clans emote in response.
Dude, I did so many hee-hee-haws during our trip, and our directors and the whole, there's 9 of us there. None of them had any idea what what I was talking about. They're all like real people, you know? They don't participate in this internet nonsense.
They're fucking not brain-rotted normal beings.
Yeah, they just don't address it.
They were all high-level tech workers or producers on a movie critiquing live streaming, so that probably makes a little bit of sense.
Hey, but what was I doing there, right?
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying.
Great bits. How about the Great Bobs? I watched a film about a Great Bob. Bob Hieronymus.
Oh, I thought we were gonna talk about Bob the Builder. It's
No.
like, yeah, I watched that shit too when I was younger.
I can actually talk about some of the stories that I haven't told you before. We're doing a lot of chatting tonight, guys.
Tonight's a recap night for board gamers. Fun fact. Mark's back from South by Southwest, which is a huge deal. Mark has a lot of fun stories, and I want to hear them.
So, I guess this is a fine segue into Bob Hieronymus.
Yeah, it sounds like Bob Hippopotamus.
It does. It's a silly name. It's the only reason I remember it. There's a lot of other not silly names, and I've forgotten all of them. But first off, I was kind of surprised by this. Since I do have a reputation of not watching films.
So what's notable part about you being a filmmaker?
Yes. Chat might be surprised by this, that out of our entire group, I by far attended the most screenings of anyone.
That doesn't surprise me.
Yes,
'Cause
I know
know
it would
you.
surprise you, because you know that despite me having a reputation of not seeing like classic films, I love going to screenings.
There's nothing you like more than watching short films.
Yes, I love short films. I was the only dang person. They had 3 separate, like, individual blocks for narrative short films. They had narrative shorts 1, 2, and 3. Each of them had between, like, 6 and 8 shorts in them. I was the only person who went to all of them.
Okay, all right.
Mark loves movies. I absolutely love watching short films, and I do also enjoy watching movies. I went to plenty of movies as well. And, surprisingly, I kind of surprised myself with this, a lot of documentaries. Yeah.
Like a good documentary.
Mark, have you seen the Spider-Verse movies? Yes, I have. Not a fan of the second one. Radical take, don't like it. Radical take, they abused their animators, and that put a sour taste in my mouth, and I watched the
Okay.
movie and didn't like it.
That's fair. That's fair.
Yeah.
I think not appreciating for me, it's a little bit the opposite. I know how radically they're abused, so if I don't appreciate the hard work they put in, I feel bad.
Project Hail Mary, Ryan Gosling asked Katy Perry, a real astronaut, for advice to play the part. Good. That'll make the movie better.
I think so.
But I was surprised by this because this wasn't even something that I was like originally like excited to go see. It was just something like, oh, I have time during this slot. I'll add this to my schedule. Do you know the film that by the end of it, it was actually the most kind of impressive and cool thing that I watched the entire festival?
Bob Hieronymus.
Bob Hieronymus, exactly.
I was paying attention.
It was a documentary about Bigfoot.
Okay, you have my attention.
And like this is super cool because we're at the world premiere of this. This is footage that has never been seen before. This is the first time ever being screened to an audience, this documentary. They had unreleased Bigfoot footage of
He's real?
of the original tapes. Well, I'll get to that. The answer may shock you.
What a fucking plot twist to find out live on Board Gamers Live that Bigfoot is real this entire time.
Well, first off, I learned a lot about Bigfoot. The original tapes, I forget what they're called. Board Ghost could look it up. The famous Bigfoot tapes. Do you know what I'm talking about?
The one that's the classic picture of him.
Yeah, where he's walking
Yeah.
and he's doing the thing with the hands. So those tapes are considered like gospel in the Bigfoot community.
Sorry, combo number 5 says pay out the believers.
Pay out the Bigfoot believers.
Bigfoot believers pay him out.
But I didn't know this. Do you know why that footage is considered to be like as important as it is? Because there is like the Patterson films. Yes, the Patterson Gimlin films. They are incredibly important in the cryptid community. But
That kind of looks like Jeremy when he's in the background of one of our sets.
kind of looks like Jeremy.
It looks like Jeremy. That's the only Bigfoot to sign the release.
But the reason it's so notable is in the time frame that it was filmed, 1967, the technology to make a Bigfoot costume that would be as good as the one in the video didn't really exist.
Okay.
So I didn't know this. Like, they have experts looking at this, studying it, pointing out that you can see individual muscle groups moving on the Bigfoot, which wouldn't be possible with the technology that they had at the time for costumes. With the sub on a 9-month streak. Holy moly.
Way!
So, like, they study it. They can see individual muscle groups moving on this costume. And when it turns its head and turns back, it's another notable detail that costumes at the time were relatively stiff, and moving your head would move the back neck portion of the costume, making it out of place when you turn your head back. So walking at that speed through the woods, he turns his head, and when turns back, the neck is in the same exact place, which they're like is not possible in 1967.
Right.
Because the costume technology that they had was essentially Planet of the Apes.
Well, I have a solution to all of this. Mm-hmm. I have what will solve the Patterson films once and for all. And that is because the internet wasn't really around right then, they just didn't know furries existed.
That could be it.
You're telling me someone who was a furry, very talented, very dedicated, couldn't make that happen. I think they could back then.
So the Patterson tapes are very important because of that. And basically, the argument that people have is like there's two possibilities. One, you either have to state that Robert Pattinson is the greatest costumist of the era. What was his actual first name? It wasn't Robert.
Roger. Close enough.
Yeah. Roger, you have to say...
The vampire in Twilight.
Yes, that Roger Pattinson was the greatest costumer of his era, this random nobody who lived in, like, North Carolina. You either have to accept that he's the greatest costumer ever, or Bigfoot's real. Mm-hmm. And that was kind of the dilemma. And... what they end up having this whole like narrative, interviewing a whole bunch of different people, some of which were still alive who were on the trip when it was filmed, being like, yeah, it's real, like it's a real thing, like we saw it, we were there. It got so intense that people who questioned it were like cut out of their lives completely. Patterson's son started questioning, like, hey, is this really the full truth? Because Patterson's dead by now. He's like, hey, is this really the full truth? And in response, his mom disowned him. His mom disowned him and wrote him a letter wishing him death, wishing he was never born, saying that he was a plague upon their family.
Because he was curious?
Because he was questioning the Bigfoot tapes.
That's crazy. That's such a reasonable question to ask.
Yes. Yeah. And, very, like, kind of wild stuff. But they end up interviewing this guy, Bob Hieronymus, who goes, oh, yeah, it's fake. I was there. I was in the costume. And, he's like, Patterson reached out to me because he liked the way that I walked, and we went out into the woods and we filmed it. I was in the costume. And they did some example walks, and he has like a notable like gait to him of how he walked. And they showed it to experts to compare it to the Bigfoot walking. And they're like, no, this is clearly the walk of someone impersonating the Bigfoot walk.
Okay, all right.
This isn't really correct. And huge like campaign of like either being pro or anti Bob Hieronymus. And he's like, yeah, the only reason I'm coming out about this is because Patterson offered me $1,000 for the shoot, and he never paid me. So, he's like, I waited a good like 20 years before saying anything. I think it's fair.
There's no fucking way he's telling the truth. There's no shot. Why would he?
And it got so bad, Bob Hieronymus is neighbors with one of the people who was on the expedition. And he's like, oh yeah, this guy drives by, I'll like wave at him. He just glares at me. He's like never said hello. Oh yeah, Bob Hieronymus. Morgos put it up on Wiki. So they have this whole thing, and a lot of people, especially the experts, they all hate Bob Hieronymus. Like, there's this guy who was just a college professor who, like, was really invested in studying Bigfoot, and he's like, don't get me started on Bob Hieronymus. We need to move on right now.
I mean, like, I can understand it. Like, that's just some guy who, like, randomly appeared and be like, yeah, that was me. It's all fake, by the way. With no proof whatsoever. Refuses to elaborate.
Well, what ends up happening, as I mentioned, there's unreleased footage, at least to my knowledge, it was unreleased. The filmmakers made it seem so. Somebody reached out to them and they said, hey, my dad was also on the expedition where they saw Bigfoot, and we have a tape that's been locked away in a safe since we filmed it, or since they filmed it, and I want you guys to take a look at it. I think it's the original Patterson tapes. Because if you don't know this, all the existing Patterson tapes are copies. The original is lost media. Nobody knows where the original tape is. And she's like, yeah, I think we probably have the original. And the filmmaker's like, great, yeah, let's see it. And they take it out, they get up this projector, and they start playing it, and it's not the original.
Okay.
And it's footage of a Bigfoot from a different angle that hasn't been seen before. And they go, what's going on here? And they look into it. The Patterson tapes were filmed in 1967. They date this tape to 1966. And Bigfoot in the tape walks completely differently. Meaning, what they found was a test footage that they shot the year before that they ended up not liking, recasted Bigfoot as Bob Hieronymus, and filmed it again in 1967.
Confirming once and for all that it is fake.
That it is, in fact, fake. Like, objectively proving that the Patterson films were faked.
Or there's two Bigfoots.
There's two Bigfoot. Yeah, I mean, come on, did we never consider that there's just two Big Five?
Perhaps.
It's the plural Bigfoot.
But my favorite thing was one of the people they were interviewing, he's like this cowboy guy. He's one of the people who was on the original excursion. He spends the entire film cursing Bob Hieronymus, wishing death upon him. He's the one whose neighbor's with him. He just drives by and glares. And he's like, it's real, we did this, this, that, the other. The filmmakers play the tape for him of the 1966 shot. And he goes, well, you got me. He goes, you got me. I've been a part of the greatest hoax in American history. We nearly pulled it off. Drops it immediately. He goes, the jig's up. You got. He's like, can't refute that. We're done. And it instead turns into like a relatively positive celebration of Roger Pattinson of being the greatest showman to ever grace North Carolina. Or even the son who was disowned and his dad lied to him about all of this. He's like, well, at the end of the day, my pops was just really, really dedicated to everything he did.
Wait, so his mom's just an asshole?
Oh yeah, his mom's terrible.
His
She's
mom's just
awful.
the worst.
Poor son that got disowned, though. They did have a nice little scene at the end.
Fumbled under no pressure.
Yeah, they did. Gotta respect how he recognizes when he's lost. Yeah.
That's so funny. It's so funny to be in character. Like, you fucking, you got me. You figured it out.
Like, I think he even shakes hands with Bob Hieronymus afterwards.
That's so funny.
And one of the experts has this amazing quote. Oh, yo, Aaron Nicole, you subscribed with Prime on an 8-month streak.
Aaron Noodle.
W Aaron Nicole.
That's crazy, because they would have gotten away with it if they just paid him the $1,000.
They would have. They would have. And in fact, the son who is, on this journey, one of the final things he does in the film is he goes to Bob Hieronymus' house, shakes his hand, apologizes for what he's been put through, and pays him the $1,000.
That's sweet, but the directors definitely gave him that $1,000 to give to Bob Hieronymus.
I'll accept it. It's fine.
But that's a good way to end the film, though. That's a good way to end it.
Well, I don't know. I gotta disagree. $1,000 in 1967 is like 4 or 5 G's today.
Yeah. No, Country's right. It's about $1,002.
Yeah, at least. So it really was Bob? It was. Yeah, it actually was him. When they show one of the experts, and he's like, Patterson lied to us. He's like, Patterson lied. He starts going through the other names, the people there, like, they lied to us. People have wasted their lives searching for this thing that isn't real, that everyone lied. Everyone except Bob. And he goes, oh no, don't tell me Bob Hieronymus is the good guy in this story.
Oh my god, the most hated guy in the... I mean, that makes sense, though, because Bob Hieronymus is the one person that said Bigfoot wasn't real and that it was him, right? And all these scientists want to believe it's true so that they can be the ones to discover actual Bigfoot proof, right? That they can make this grand discovery, and it turns out there is no grand discovery to be made.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. And people have wasted their lives, really. Like, people have left families behind to pursue Bigfoot expeditions.
$1,000 in 1967 is equivalent to $10,000 in 2026.
Okay, well, like, Bob Hieronymus is really old. He probably can't count that well. He probably doesn't know.
Oh, gee willikers, I'm gonna go down to the store and buy a hot dog for a nickel.
It was symbolic, okay? Look.
Well, that still doesn't answer one question. How the fuck did he make the suit?
That's something that they don't really address. Basically, we get some insight that his son witnessed him earlier in life collecting a lot of fur coats. And basically, it's one of those things where since he had zero professional training whatsoever, he was just making decisions, presumably, that nobody else was thinking to do. And part of it was just he was using real fur from, like, fur coats. Which helped, and also he was just really dedicated to everything that he did, where they showed off one of his other schemes to, like, make money, which was a little sweeter than the Bigfoot thing, was he built a miniature train to take kids around the town. And they're like, yeah, you know, he didn't know anything about trains going in, but he built, like, a small child-sized replica that was, like, incredibly accurate and precise and, like, functioned for, like, 10 years, you know, with minimal
I've heard of the
maintenance.
train story.
Okay, and it's just like, yeah, he was just really autistic and good at what he did. Yo, someone saw ACT with the subscription for 4 months. Holy
W.
moly.
Walt.
W, someone's alt account.
So he was just a talented furry, really, when you think about it.
Yeah, he was just a really talented furry, and, like, unfortunately, he's dead.
Which is most furries, to be honest. I'll give the furry community that. They're very talented. Some of
they
them
are.
scare me, but most of them are pretty swag.
And unfortunately, like, he's dead, and we can't ask him, like, dude, how'd you do that? Apparently, the filmmakers are saying they know a little bit more that they weren't able to get into in the documentary because of time reasons. And they're like, oh, if only this documentary, because they were watching it in the theater with us, and they did a Q&A afterwards.
That's really cool.
They go, if only this documentary was like 45 minutes longer. If only it was 45 minutes longer, we had this whole thing where one of the people dressed up as Bigfoot went into the woods and they got shot. It's like, what? He lived, but he dressed up as Bigfoot. Somebody got really excited. We got one! And shot him.
That is pretty much that's the most insane. That is just a good metaphor for a man. Oh my god, a mystical creature we've never seen before. Shoot his ass!
Slay him now!
Slay the beast! Bring it to the king!
Oh my goodness, slight aside. We flew Spirit Airlines to get there. We had, you know, flight there, layover, another flight, and then same thing coming back. And Spirit Airlines has 3 seats in a row. There's 4 of us. I always got the short straw ticket where I had to sit with strangers.
It is. I know the feeling. It's not fun. I once had a flight where I was sat next to a family who was in all black, and they were very quiet for like 20, 30 minutes into this 2 or 3 hour flight. And then halfway through, they spoke another language. I don't know what it was. Halfway through, just burst into tears, and then for the rest of the flight, they all just sobbed together. It was very clear that they were on their way to a funeral, and there's my dumb ass, late teens, sitting next to them, just twiddling my thumbs.
And Corey!
It was the lineup of a sitcom right there.
But my final flight back to Detroit, I was very lucky and sat next to two super cool people who I was chatting with the whole time. One of them was coming from Houston. They're at like a rodeo for their birthday, and they're like, "Oh yeah, the rodeo, it was great. You know, it got shut down early. There was all this drama going on." I go, "Really?" And he goes, "Yeah. At one point, you know, people started shooting." I go, "Like guns?" And he goes, "Yeah." And I go, "Was anyone hurt?" He goes, No. One of them died, but
Well, he wasn't hurt. He just died.
he goes, one of them died, but like it was only one of the people shooting the guns. I'm like, oh, so I guess that doesn't count then. Okay. Just loving me response. No one was hurt. Just he died. Wild people.
That is crazy.
If you're dead, you're not hurt, you know.
That's what I'm saying. Corey's not
Yeah.
a sympathetic crier. It was just an awkward situation. I didn't know what they were crying about at first. I mean, obviously they were dressed all in black, so that was a good signifier, but...
It would have made it so much worse if Corey just started crying, like getting it with the group hug.
Again, I did not speak whatever language they spoke, so that would have been a language barrier I would have crossed through as well.
Evening, Corey and Mark. How are you both today? Doing good, Steve.
What's up,
Good to see ya.
Steve?
Welcome,
How you doing?
welcome. I've been recounting some South by Southwest stories. I just had a very long tangent about Bigfoot because I watched a documentary about big feet, if you will.
No, you watched a documentary about Bob Hieronymus. Not big feet. Well, he might have big feet. I don't know.
That is fair. They didn't measure. There's a big plot hole in the documentary.
They never said. Gotta get. What is it? Peter? No, Pattinson. Call out Pattinson. What was the feet size on them bad boys?
Ouija board.
What were the feet size of the costume?
Bob Hieronymus, I think, is still alive. Patterson died in 1972. Wow.
Well, that was 5 years after filming.
Yeah.
Oh my God, he doesn't know his legacy.
No, yeah, the films didn't become popular until after he died.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
That's so sad.
It is. His greatest work, and like he didn't know the cultural impact it would have and how much life it would waste of others. See, I felt bad for these people. Like this tenured college professor had an entire room in his college that the college allowed him to like sanction off this room. That was his Bigfoot study room. He would spend hours upon hours studying the Bigfoot in his dedicated study room.
Dude, you have no idea the extent of it. You guys were allowed to watch children's television growing up. I was relegated to educational television. So I spent a lot of time on History and Discovery Channel. Discovery Channel loves Bigfoot. There was so much Bigfoot content on Discovery. And yeah, there were entire people who their entire business was literally just running Bigfoot tour guides, tour groups, and whatnot. It's crazy how dedicated people were.
Now that you've blown up and won an award, you're going to pretend like you don't know nobody. That is the plan, Jeremy. I know nobody. But yeah, so there's the Bigfoot documentary, and there's another documentary that was really, really interesting. And like the documentary itself was good, but the main thing was the audience that was there. It was very, very fascinating to me. Do you know who Phoenix Jones is?
Yes, he's a superhero.
Yes, okay.
I'm very well versed in this topic of real life superheroes. I've fallen down this rabbit hole. You're telling me there was a Phoenix Jones documentary?
Yes.
You need to send me the title so I can watch that when it comes out.
It's called Phoenix Jones.
Okay, that makes it very easy.
Yes.
I fucking love Phoenix Jones because that man's legacy has spiraled into something beautiful.
It was fascinating. I don't know how much you know about like his personal life and everything.
Well, I know it's a little bit of a tragic story, I'm pretty sure.
Yes.
More so what I mean is Phoenix Jones inspired a bunch of people to do the same thing.
Yes.
And now there's a bunch of people who are like real life superheroes where really they just wear a costume and then they go around and do things for their community.
Yeah, and Phoenix Jones was there also.
Oh, he was?
He was, yeah.
Whoa!
Which ended up being really cool because the documentary about Phoenix Jones, real life superhero, he wasn't necessarily the first to do it, but he was by far the most charismatic to do it of the initial group.
He was the first one that got notable.
Yes. Yeah. And, you know, when the movie started, he walked in. It was the second screening of it, so the director was like, well, he might not show up. You know, this is the second screening. He was there for the first one. You hear as the movie's starting, somebody enter the theater, and somebody in the audience shout, "Phoenix Jones is in the house!" And, like, everyone cheers. But the documentary does not paint him in a good light, like, at all.
Really?
It is a very, very honest look at Phoenix Jones. Like, they're not intentionally trying to slander him. They are just being, like, fair. But they're like, yeah, if something comes up that looks bad, we're not sweeping it under the rug in this documentary. We're trying to show a very honest look at this. And, you know, you see him, like, grow in popularity. You see, like, him get a following and, like, kind of, like, help people in the community. But then it ends up being this, like, spiral of, like, one bad thing after another, where he was married to another superhero, Purple Rain. And they ended up having a messy divorce while they had a kid.
Super divorce.
Super divorce. Well put. Actually, I'm not positive that the kid was with Purple Rain, but he does have a kid who he kind of, like, abandons to pursue the superhero stuff. And he goes on this, like, really big depressive streak because when they were out one night, there was a drive-by shooting, and somebody, just a random passerby, was hit in the neck and died. Like, the people who were shooting missed their target and killed a random civilian. And basically what he was saying is, like, yeah, we were there. We were only a block away. It wasn't just him. It was like 5 other of these superheroes. And he goes, and it didn't make any difference that we were there.
Oh.
And
That's a devastating line.
yeah. And it was very sad. Yo, Rose Girl subscribing with Prime on a 7-month streak.
Woes girl. Actually, saying woes girl doesn't feel right, but I'm going to say it anyway because they deserve it. Woes girl!
I'm on r/Bigfoot. They fucking hate Bob Hieronymus.
Yeah, no shit they hate Bob Hieronymus. That's like an adult coming and taking your toy away when you were a child.
Bob Hieronymus seems so nice, too. He seemed like such an honest guy.
Imagine getting your toy taken away when you're like 2. You're going to be pissed at that person.
But yeah, he goes on this very, like, depressive streak, and his whole backstory, if you know his backstory, he was raised in an orphanage, and it was, like, very rough, and kids would be basically disappeared in the middle of the night. And he said him and his bunkmate used to, like, tie strings from, like, their ankle, connecting them together so they would know if one of them was getting disappeared in the night.
Jesus.
And then he was adopted when he turned 11 and was brought into, like, a nice family, and then, you know, from there decided to pursue kind of the superhero stuff. And it's established he has, like, a kind of bad relation with his brothers. And they start interviewing one of the brothers, and he's like, oh yeah, you know, he's like, back when I was like 5, like me and I forget his real name, but me and Phoenix used to fight all the time. And the documentarian goes, when you were 5? He goes, yeah. He goes, how old was Phoenix then? And he goes, oh well, like he was probably like 3. And he goes, Phoenix told us he was adopted at 11. And he goes, no. He's like, he was adopted at 3 at the latest. And then they interview the eldest brother, and they're like, when was Phoenix Jones brought into the family? And he goes, when he was a newborn. He goes, I read these articles about Phoenix Jones saying that he was raised in an orphanage, and he's like, it pisses me off because it's so disrespectful to everything our parents did for him. He's like, he was brought in as a newborn. He's never been inside an orphanage.
Bro was just making up stories? That's crazy. Why would you make that up?
What's this superhero stuff? I'm talking about a documentary I saw at South by Southwest that's about Phoenix Jones, who's a real life superhero. Puts on a costume and patrols Seattle.
I love that story.
Mark, did you try the beaver nuggets? Heather, I'm so sorry. I didn't even make it to a Buc-ee's. I was talking about this. I didn't leave a 40-minute walk from where our house was ever.
You were so busy. You told me that you barely even made it fucking 5 hours outside in the house.
Yeah.
Oh, your entire stay.
Yeah, the 8 days that we were there, if I'm excluding time spent sleeping or showering, I think total I spent about 5 hours in the house over
crazy.
8 days. I want to know about Dropout. I'm getting there. I'm getting to the Dropout story.
Let him land. Let him land.
I need to finish with Phoenix Jones first. But, so, not only did they kind of, like, back him into this corner of, like, yeah, like, he lied about this backstory that he had, kind of for sympathy, he also got caught in a drug bust dealing drugs. And, like, this was in, like, a really, like, bad point in his life.
What the fuck, Phoenix?
And it's one of those things where, like, he denies it and everything, and, you know, you want to give him the benefit of the doubt. But you listen to how he denies it, and you notice that when he's backed into a corner, he starts kind of, like, shaking. And he's shaking while saying this, and his story is, well, you see, I had a roommate, and my roommate dealt drugs, and it was like, I knew my roommate did it, I should have said something, but he needed a ride to go to this place to drop off the drugs. So he walks in with the drugs, drops them off the table, leaves, and says that the person in there wanted to see me, so I went inside, and the drugs, or the bag was on the table, so I just moved it from one table to another to put it closer to them, so that they could have it, and they gave me $200, which they said was a tip. And he's like, oh, well, I need the money, so I'll take the tip. What he's describing is a drug exchange.
Yeah, yeah.
And
he's describing a drug exchange in a way that he's not legally responsible.
yes. Whoa, holy moly. Ma's gifting a sub to Goofy Ball Hunter.
W. Maz! Yeah, it was my buddy. He goes to a different school. You don't know him.
And so it's like, ooh, this doesn't look too good for him. And they end up, like, pressing charges on him. And, oh, there's also a big controversy where he started to lose respect of, like, the city that he was in during the Black Lives Matter movement. Because he decided to join the fight, declaring, I will stop all riots I see.
Now, correct me if I'm wrong.
He is African American.
Yeah, Phoenix Jones is black.
Yes.
Which is crazy.
Yeah.
Crazy.
And he ended up being very firm on that stance for a while, or still to this day, which wasn't great for him. And the funniest part of the entire documentary is he meets up with another real-life superhero, Red Ranger, and he has this, like, red suit, and he has this big rubber shield, and Phoenix Jones is like, got the shield going. He's like, yeah, I've been getting good use, been stopping rubber bullets with this. Phoenix Jones goes, rubber bullets? He goes, yeah, rubber bullets and deflecting back tear gas. And he goes, oh, you're fighting against the police. And Red Ranger goes, yeah.
Yeah, that's the good thing. They're attacking civilians. That's my job, is to protect the civilians.
He's like, yeah, I'm knocking back tear gas when they throw it at civilians. And he goes, oh, well, just so you know, that's technically illegal. IDK, if you heard about Chop or Chaz, but there's stuff that went down there. Yes, the documentary acknowledges Chaz, and I did know about that beforehand. That's a complicated situation. Phoenix Jones had his opinions on that as well. Basically, they kind of chased him out of Chaz, where they're like, we don't really need you here, dude.
Dude, the shield is based. I've seen footage of Red Ranger at protests and rallies. He's very based.
Just arrest him on the spot. Yeah, citizens arrest Phoenix Jones, taking down the evil Red Ranger.
Shout out Skyline for Albuquerque too. That's another big one that's been making a lot of rounds in social media recently.
Okay, I didn't know about Skyline.
It's actually very serendipitous that the Phoenix Jones documentary is releasing right now, because Skyline in Albuquerque is doing some rounds on social media. So the buzz of real life superheroes is popping up again.
And it kind of ends with this kind of sad note of him, like, reflecting back. He's, like, working for Uber at the end of the documentary, and he's like, I'm not really sure if I made a difference by doing this. And at the end of this documentary, which, you know, paints him in a very brutal light of like lying about you know, his family, dealing drugs, most likely, being caught for these things, kind of being a hypocrite with a lot of things that he preached for. At the end of it, the filmmaker called Phoenix Jones to the front, and people stood and clapped. Like, despite everything, despite, like, you know, this being a very, like, honest and brutal look, at the end of the day, the audience there still respected the fact that he was trying.
Yeah,
that he was
I think
making a difference.
that is the biggest thing. You know, people aren't perfect, and I think that's a good example of it. Like you said, at the end of the day, all that matters is that he tried to make a difference. Even if he wasn't successful, he put himself in danger to try and make a difference.
Yeah, so it was, like, really touching to see the theater react that way and, like, still be cheering him on and being like, you know, like, good try.
Yeah.
You know, keep going for it.
Hayden brings a good point, Mark. At the end of the day, it is night.
That's a good point. That is a very good point.
Although he didn't make a night and day difference.
So yeah, those are the two main documentaries that I watched, but I know the people are here to demand the dropout stories.
I'm also here to demand the dropout stories. How'd that go? Oh God.
Oh, I decided not to post the day that I saw Dropout. I was trying to keep tabs and everything. I'm like, I'm not gonna say anything. It's gonna be for the best. My experience was a little bit awful going there.
Oh shit.
Yeah, it wasn't Dropout's fault. It was the organizers. It was the people organizing the event at South by Southwest. It was their fault. They suck. I hate them. I hope they explode.
Jesus. Oh, you say that live on air.
In Minecraft.
Okay, there you go. Thank you. Yep. Ding.
Saved it.
Minecraft TNT emoji pop up.
Yeah. So basically, what happened is they were at this venue. I'm trying to remember the name of the venue. It was like the Zac, I think it was, that we were at.
The Zac.
The Zac. And mind you, the important thing to note for this story is that I fought very, very hard to get a reservation when I did.
Sure.
I ignored the reservations for my own screening to be at the Dropout one, spamming the reserve button as the website was crashing. And thankfully, I was one of the people who made it in. Mm-hmm. I may have been the first human to actually successfully click on the Dropout one. I was very dedicated to getting a reservation because I wanted to see this. And I knew, according to South by Southwest, that, oh, reservations are only a small portion of the audience that's there, blah, 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 whatever. I get to the theater 40 minutes early with a reservation.
Okay, that's pretty good.
Should be pretty good.
Front line
right?
center.
Yeah, front, right, and center. And there's just a mob in front of this building. It is completely packed. And normally they had people kind of like standing there with signs like end of line reservations, end of line general admission, blah, blah, blah. I don't see anyone for that. So I'm just kind of like walking around asking people like, what are you in line for? Like, are you general admission? And they're like, oh yeah, we're general admission. And finally I locate a staff member. And I'm like, I have a reservation for this. Like, I arrived early, but like, I'm kind of like losing time walking around here. Where do I go for the reservations? And she goes, oh, there's a separate reservation line, but it's actually being fully encompassed by the general admission line. So you're gonna have to wade through general admission to find the opening of where the reservation line starts.
That's so fucked.
Which was very annoying. But I do it. I get into line. I get in line with the other people, and I start chatting with some of the people around me. And I was like, oh yeah, like what's going on? And the one lady I was chatting with just goes, they completely screwed up how they're doing the lines, and like it's screwing over the reservations, and everyone's pissed. And I'm like, oh, really? And what I started to see happen as the show starts at 7:30, by the way. At this point, it's like 7:05, something like that.
Okay. 45 minutes till showtime.
And I see people from general admission start entering through the building, through like the metal detectors and whatnot. And then I would see maybe like 5 to 10 people from reservations walk through. And I'm like, okay, I guess they're kind of doing them one after another. This is a little bit weird how they're doing this. And we'd move up, like 10 people would go through. We'd have to wait for a whole bunch of general admission. Then it would move up 10 people. Then it gets to me being one person away from first in line.
Okay.
I was still relatively early for the reservation line, and I'm like, okay, next little break in the general admission people going through, I'm good to go. And then it just doesn't stop. They just keep letting general admission through, and we're standing like, can we go? We have reservations. And they go, no, you have to stay.
Why? What purpose?
Well, what they decided was that, since we didn't prepare at all for how to control this line for general admission, since the line's so long that it's like clogging up the sidewalk to a dangerous extent in some places, we are going to let all 2,200 general admissions tickets through before we let any more reservations.
And you didn't have reserved seating, right? It's just first come, first serve?
Thankfully, the one thing that we did have was assigned seating.
Okay, thank God. For your sake.
Yes. But even then, like, I had to use the bathroom and everything, and I'm like, it's gonna be hard to find the seat and use the bathroom. This goes for over 40 minutes. Show starts at 7:30. It's 7:40 at this point, and they're still letting people in.
But they haven't started, right? They've delayed the start because people are coming in?
Well, I asked the head of security, I'm like, hey, are they delaying the show? And he goes, probably. I go, thanks, asshole. You piece of shit. I got a reservation for this. Why am I being punished standing out in the cold waiting for these people when I have a reservation? You can't just let like 5 people through every 100?
That's fucked
Like,
up.
if they just continue letting 5 people in, because there are only 200 reservations compared to 2,200 general admission.
The cold.
It was a cold day, okay? It was like 40, all right? Mind you, I was cold personally.
It was the cold. We have different experiences. I have a different type of cold than you.
And then the cherry on top of misery is, as you know, I like to be very prepared, and I'm often known for having food and beverage on me. How long did you have to wait? I don't think I got in until 8.
Jesus Christ. You should just piss your pants in retaliation.
I had to pee so bad.
Just piss yourself. What are they gonna do, stop you?
Well, it got worse because I saw that they were checking anyone with bags, and I did have a bag, and that they were removing water bottles. It's like, oh, water bottle, nope, can't take that in. Not that they told us, not that we had a heads up that we couldn't bring water in. Other theaters gave us a heads up, they didn't. And like, nope, sorry, can't bring drinks in. And they're making people like dump water bottles and like throw out coffees and stuff like that. And I have water in my bag. I didn't really want to waste it, so like I chugged it, which made it worse. And I'm thinking to myself, so far I've only seen them confiscate water. What are the odds? What are the odds they would confiscate a little snack? Just like a little snack. I haven't seen them confiscate any. And like, what's the odds that I'm the only person in this line with a few snacks on them? More likely than you may think.
Brother did not get his snacks into the theater.
Well, I finally, 2,200 people come through. They're like, okay, you can go in now. We start to go through. They pull me aside for the bag. And I open up the bag and I show them. It's empty, it's clear, it's all good. Am I good to go? And she goes, anything in your jacket pockets? I go, no, not really.
Nothing that you need to know about.
And she goes, not really? I go, well, like would a little snack be an issue? And she goes, you cannot bring that in.
What was your snack?
Well, I hold out my jacket for her, and she
One egg.
She reaches into the pocket and pulls out 2 full handfuls of granola bars, meat sticks, and crackers. Like, genuinely.
Bro had a feast for the king in his pocket.
Genuinely 2 full handfuls. And she goes, most people only bring water. And she moves it over to the trash and then sighs as she has to reach back in that same pocket to pull out the rest that she missed on the first go through, and is just shaking her head in disbelief, puts it to the side like she has this look of bewilderment as she turns around my jacket to go into the left pocket and pulls out more snacks.
Brother, why were you so loaded?
I get hungry. And she just looks at it, looks at me, and just puts it back.
That's so funny. That's so funny.
Anja subscribed on an
What?
8-month streak. Holy moly. Didn't you say you had a bag? I did have a bag. I moved all my snacks from my bag to my pockets because I thought they might not look for them.
The putback of shame.
The putback of shame. And she's like, just go.
Just get the fuck outta here, man.
I go, thank you. Walk through with her not knowing that I had an extra granola bar in my back pocket. So, even if she took those, I was getting at least one through. W snacks. I like having food on me. I don't even eat snacks all that often. I just really like having food on me because I get scared and nervous if I don't. I'm gonna feel hungry.
You saw your pockets bulging, and that's why you asked.
That's absolutely
Comically snack-filled, Mark.
I really wish I had a hard-boiled egg.
That would have been fucking cherry on top. Do you know how confused that woman would have been if you just pulled out a hard-boiled egg out of your pocket, Danny DeVito style?
Mark the gerbil, lol. Yeah. So I was like actually really upset about the whole situation of having to like wait that long with a reservation. And then like to top it all off, and like this is minor, and this is not something that I would bring up if it wasn't for the fact that they made me wait an hour in line, half an hour past the show started with the reservation. But the seat sucked. I'm like, why do the reservation seats suck? Why, like, you couldn't even just put us on the ground floor. Anywhere on the ground floor would have been great. I was like towards the back on the 3rd floor in the balcony, and I'm like, I was one of the first reservations. How can my seat be this bad?
Yeah, that's a good point. Did the reservations cost more?
Yes and no. Did it cost me more? No, because I went with the Creator Pass.
Gotcha. Okay.
But the reservations are only available to Creator Passes or Platinum Badges, which are the $2,000 badges. So
If you wanted to get a reservation, you had to be either a creator or pay hella money.
yes. Whereas general admission was something like $37.
Okay. All right. Makes sense.
Do you eat popcorn without a fork? Sometimes, but I usually try to eat it with a spoon.
Your vision made you look needy. They put the needy in the back.
I guess so.
Now, see your face.
All of that is to say, I waded through blood and bone in the streets of Austin to make it to this show. I am not an improv person. I don't really go to improv shows. I could tell they were generational talents. It was actually absurd how good they were. The actual show that Dropout put on was amazing. So I can't be too upset, even though my initial perception was tarnished by fighting to get inside. When they actually started performing, they were insane. Who was there? You're gonna have to forgive me. I'm not really a Dropout fan.
We're gonna play a game. I know Vic Michaelis was there.
Yes.
Because I asked him about that.
Vic Michaelis was there, and we ran into Vic Michaelis at a restaurant.
And he didn't even invite her on Board Gamers.
Nope.
Didn't invite them on Board Gamers. It's fucked up, man.
No. It was me and Sarah. We're like, that's Vic. And then they walked over. We're crouching by a trash can, and they threw something away in that trash can. We made like slight eye contact, and then they moved on. Oh, Jeremy Borgo's pulled it up. Okay, it was Vic McKalen, Jeremy Colhane, Jacob Wysocki, he was very funny, and Kurt Maloney.
Nice.
Those were the individuals.
It's a good lineup.
Yes.
Love Jacob Wysocki. Very funny guy.
Jacob was very, very good.
And Vic Michaelis, also hilarious. Her show on Dropout, Very Important People, is fucking one of my favorite shows on that website.
Yes. It was amazing to me because, like I said, I don't really watch much improv, so it's not like I have a frame of reference. They were all so fast. It was absurd. I was like, how did you think of that so quickly? Like, they weren't even finished getting out the sentence when people had these, like, clever insights and rebuttals. And I'm like, this is astounding. It was 7 p.m. to 7:30. So all the times I said, I just moved them back half an hour.
8:30. They wound up delaying the show?
They did.
And they still went a full hour and a half?
Yes. They did in fact do that.
Oh yeah, did you pick up some improv skills as AFCONs?
None.
Do us a little bit of improv right now.
Okay, alright. Let's call this one sweeping the floor. And then I could do it without talking, and then like you could guess what I'm doing based off the actions. But if I speak, I have to give you $1. And that'll be my traveling show.
Okay. All right.
You think that could work?
Well, you owe me a couple dollars already.
Well, I didn't start yet.
Generational talent applies to Markboard gamers as well.
Yeah, so they did a whole bunch of like mini games that were very cool. They had one. It was like a debate thing where they had to like choose a topic and start giving information on that topic. And the moment they said something that was wrong, someone would object and then say something else, and like they would be pulled up to the front. They talked a lot about that poop van incident from the one band. Where they dumped their poop from the tour bus into the water.
Oh, is it Dave Matthews?
Dave Matthews. And Vic didn't know the story at all. So they decided to stop calling objections and force Vic to the front to explain what they thought happened in the Dave Matthews poop bus incident.
That's fucking funny. Dave Matthews poop bus incident does go down in infamy as one of the greatest and most tragic incidents involving a band ever.
It is very unfortunate.
Go down that rabbit hole if you don't know about the Dave Matthews poop bus incident. Free poop bus, exactly.
They ended with an improv musical, which was
they've done that on Dropout before. I think they even have a whole show dedicated to improv musicals. And the fact that somebody can do improv, not only do improv, but do it musically, blows my fucking mind.
Yeah, it was really impressive. They got a random topic from the audience. They said they're looking for a day that people are excited about, and the person who responded said that their horse was getting trained to do a little horse dance. And it's going in front of judges to perform the little horse dance to get certified. There's a name for it. I forget what it is.
Just to get certified. Certified horse moment.
Certified horse moment. And they did an entire musical number about that. That was very, very impressive. So, yeah, really good show. They were very, very funny. I was still scathing mad about my snacks.
Dressage!
Dressage, yes!
That's the one.
Yes. I'm surprised you knew that offhand. It was the horse's dressage.
Well, I would hope not, because I wouldn't want to see it naked. Dude, it's good to be back.
They should put you up on that stage. Just give you a little mic and everyone smile.
I'm not good enough to like go toe to toe with them, but if they give me a mic and put me in the back, every like 5 or so minutes, I'll drop a heater in the middle of the act. There's that crow in the back. Like, get out of here, crow.
That is a good question. So yeah, it was a completely packed theater. It sat like, I guess it sat 2,500, and I think every seat was filled.
That doesn't surprise me, actually. It's fucking Dropout. They're big names nowadays.
Yeah, they're very famous. Turns out.
Very talented. Very talented.
So yeah, that was super cool. Jeremy would do a great dressage impression, sans horse. Jeremy should do a Uma Musume cosplay.
Let's get him in an Uma Musume cosplay, and then let's go rent out one of those like horse show areas in the off season, and then we'll have Jeremy do dressage without the horse as his bit goal, as he's saying.
13 points for that, lol.
Also, bringing up, you said there were 2,500 people there.
By my estimations, I lost track after around 12. I was trying to count, but
The most you guys have ever performed in front of is like what, 125?
1,000. Yeah, give or take.
125,000. All right. Could you imagine doing improv in front of 2,500 people?
Okay, there was one moment that was very funny that you reminded me of. There was one person there who was the host of the show, who I don't think was with Dropout. I don't know. It was kind of weird. I think it was somebody from Alston. They're being called Sam Wrong.
That's really good.
But they were a little bit less experienced with the improv than the Dropout people, but they were the host that was like hosting the show. And they walked out in a cowboy hat that they bought in Austin. And they're like, hey, I got this cool cowboy hat. He's kind of showing it off. And he's like, oh, but it's messing with the lighting, so I need to take it off. Later in the show, one of the Dropout people was like, put the hat back on. And the whole audience is like, yeah. He takes it, puts it on, does a little spin. Everyone's cheering. He goes, I really can't do it with the lights. Takes it off. All 2,500 people boo at once, and you see everyone's eyes go wide on stage as Jacob's like, don't do that. He's like, guys, you can't do that. You might think it's a bit, but when it's one of us, or like 5 of us on stage, and over 2,000 of you, that's real. That's terrifying. It's like, only boo when we deserve it, please.
Well, he deserved it. He took the hat off.
That's what I was saying. But oh well, guess that doesn't count. He did have one funny bit, the hat guy, which was he was giving examples of how he would like ask the audience for like places or names or blah blah blah, and he's like, all right, in this section, name a color, and you hear a whole bunch of ones be shout, and obviously the most common color to be shout is going to be
I don't know, blue?
blue. Yes.
Okay.
Obviously the most common one is blue, and he's like, blue. That's what I've heard about Austin. A little dot of blue and a sea of red. And I'm like, okay, that was a little funny.
That's good.
Red, wrong. It's blue. Blue is the most popular color. Everyone loves blue. I thought pink too, lol. Guys, like, I don't know, Borgos, you can fact check this. I'm pretty sure blue is like notably like the most popular favorite color for people to say. That's why
I'm pretty sure you're correct.
Because it's a happy color.
That's why Team Mystic on Pokemon Go has so many members.
Also because Articuno is kind of dope.
It's mostly the blue, but yeah, sure. The Icebird's cool too, I guess.
Fucking hating ass.
Make a poll. I would have thought pink too. Pretty sure statistically it's blue. Blue's a basic answer? Yes.
That's the point.
that is the point of what I'm saying.
Congrats, you got the joke.
42%, you're correct. Nice. But yeah, I guess I can move on to talking about like my actual showcase and like some of the other short films that I watched.
Yes, yeah, if you want to talk about yourself.
If I gotta.
If you gotta, sure.
All right, guys.
I guess I'm interested. Hey! Good cover, Borgos. Good cover.
Okay.
No, I want to hear about it. This is what I want to hear about most.
So we did have some funny experiences and run-ins when talking with the other filmmakers. We got to speak with a lot of other filmmakers, which was really cool. A lot of other short film people, which was nice. And I think by the end of it, the impression that we left of it was like, oh man. I think it's very comparable to the D&D one-shot that we had of a very nice, pristine island when a group of 4 people from Philly roll up. That's kind of how they thought of us. Of the like, oh, those Detroit filmmakers, they're a little weird gremlin people.
Are they necessarily wrong?
They're not.
Okay, all right.
But one of the things that I was surprised, but maybe I guess I shouldn't have been surprised about this. Our film, as you may or may not know, was made on a budget of $6,000. That is how much it cost to make the film that got us into South by.
Crazy good. It was also done without any sort of academic support. So while we did our college thesis for less than that, it would have cost 10 times that to actually put it together. So $6,000 on an outside of school budget is crazy small. And to reinforce that point, less than $1 million is the smallest budget category establishments like IMDb will recognize as a micro budget film.
Yes. And we did it for $6,000. We had to pull many, many favors in order to get it done. And it was a struggle, but we did it. One of the other films that was accepted into the same exact shorts block that we were, the Midnight Shorts. So same exact category, same exact thing. They had a government stipend. Their government donated towards the film. Was the Canadian government gave them $183,000.
That unironically is taking my breath away. That's crazy.
Got accepted into the same block. Theirs was $183,000, and then Canada paid for their entire trip. Paid for their hotel, paid for their food, paid for the airfare, funded their entire trip. And then the British group that was there, who I believe was funded by the BBC, the British one, not the sex one.
That's insane. We're not skipping. I'm not letting you skip past that one. That's crazy.
I needed to establish that was a fact.
I'm not letting you skate by that. That's crazy. I let it go most of the time, but that one is insane.
Nobody was wondering.
No one was confused. No one was confused.
They received a budget of $87,000 and also their entire trip paid for. And we're talking with them and we're like, dude, we did this for $6,000. They go, wow, filmmaking in America is so hard.
No, brother, filmmaking in Detroit is hard. Was there anyone from Southern California there? Did they have $10 million? No one in Southern California would dare show up to that block.
Y'all successfully beat the Canadian and British government. Well, we're on par with them.
It's like no, filmmaking in America isn't hard. It's just these are four gremlins that, for all intents and purposes, should not be here. Yeah. Like any other four group of people that got together to do what they did would not have made it even like an iota of the distance. This is like a fucking miracle that this has happened. It's just a testament to the people involved in it.
Then these other filmmakers with these massive budgets who had
we wrote on
Spirit. Are you comparing to BBL? No.
Air Britain flying over, have the country pay for you to go.
Sipping tea in luxury.
Fucking Mark fighting off somebody sitting next to him.
I had to fly home with people who were at a rodeo shootout on the way home.
Who considered a shooting death a minor inconvenience for the rodeo. They then watch our gaffer take the exclusive merch that we were given as filmmakers, like the custom bags we got and everything, and immediately go on a Facebook Marketplace and start saying, "What do you think I'd get more if I say it's from a contributor pass?" As they're looking down on us, we had 9 people staying in an Airbnb with 3 beds. It was terrible.
Was your
so funny?
Was Lauren your gaffer?
Yeah, Lauren was the gaffer.
Yeah, that sounds about right. I mean, it sounds like every gaffer I know, if I'm being honest.
We're joking about pawning off our awards for copper.
That's stripping your awards for the copper inside.
Pros does to pay for the flight home, LMAO. Our gaffer had to crowdfund for the trip to attend. It was rough.
Dude, this is like a fucking sitcom. Like, you're just like in rich, posh people territory. Just fucking 4 gremlins from fucking Detroit coming in, just foaming at the mouth.
felt like
This
a
is an
Malcolm in the
Always
Middle.
Sunny episode.
Yeah, it felt like Always Sunny or Malcolm in the Middle. What's a gaffer? Great question. They are a person on a film set who are in charge of the lighting. So in general, they control the stands and stuff for the lighting, but they coordinate the grip team.
Specifically, actually, not the stands, the lighting fixtures, the electrical distribution of the lighting department.
Yes, sorry, Borgos is
Stands are under
I
grip
misspoke.
department, that's my department. Goating department, Cool Giga Chad department.
Grip is the
Those-
film set physical labor peons.
Yes,
They're
Not
the
gaffers.
coolest dudes and dudettes on set, I'll tell you what.
it is a thankless position.
They're the coolest dudes that do that on set, but also the things that they've seen.
They're the ones chain smoking in the back of the van. Of course, the gaffer does the lighting. Gets so many good ideas, like selling on Marketplace. I guess takes up the light bulb that pops up. Yes, it was a lady, by the way. I always mix up grip and gaff. It's an easy thing to mix up.
I'd just be saying it every time. Grip and gaff.
Grip is anything that doesn't plug into the wall. Gaff is anything that does plug into the wall, or electrical department.
So yeah, the impression that we left of what they must think of the average Detroit or just American filmmaker was likely quite interesting.
They got such a skewed look based off these gremlins that arrived.
Is a woman gaffer a gaffette? No. No. That is not correct.
What's the difference between Flotsam and Jetsam? So Flotsam is the name of a person. Flot Jam is what you put on toast.
Oh. I did not know that. Good to know. So yeah, the other short films, it was really cool because I think I've talked about this before, where I do love watching short films, and I also love watching bad short films. And in my career going through film school, me and Board Ghost have both seen hundreds, probably thousands of short films in our days. And of those thousands, likely, that we've seen, there are maybe about, if I'm being generous, 15 good ones that we've seen through our schooling career.
There are I would even go, I'd say there were, last count was about 2,000, I'd say. There's probably 150, 10 times the good ones in there that were really good ideas and scripts.
That failed on execution.
That were dog water movies.
It's very often during a screening where we get lucky if there's one standout film of, oh, that was really good. Like, that was amazing. When we watch our school screenings, that is. South by Southwest was really cool, where out of the short film blocks I went to, which were animated shorts, narrative shorts 1, 2, and 3, midnight shorts, and music videos, out of all of those, I think there were only about 3 that I disliked.
I would hope that would be the case.
Yeah, like
No.
it was really impressive. A lot of them were like really, really good. Every once in a while, there was one where I'm like, why are you in this festival? Why were you accepted? I hate that you're here. You being here diminishes my achievements. But those were very few and far between. The absolute best film, best short film that played, that, we're always like hopeful that we'll, maybe get something like an audience award or something like that, because the audience can like vote on these things. My entire crew, the moment we saw this short that was playing during our block, we went, they're winning the audience award. Like, we don't even want it, they deserve it. It was genuinely amazing. It was called The Seeing Eye Dog Who Saw Too Much. And it was a really, really stupid comedy film that was mimicking the style of, there's a genre for this, I don't know the name of the genre offhand, but it's a genre of Italian films from the 70s that have a huge reputation of being like not good and like somewhat comedic watches unintentionally. But the director just had like a massive love and passion for that style of filmmaking, which is really cool when somebody does have a passion for what they're making a film about. And how they described this genre of filmmaking. Sorry, my nose is a little stuffy.
It's allergy season, man.
Spaghetti Western. No, it wasn't that. I know that. I'm fine, Burgos. I'm fine.
You're supposed to get assaulted by a poltergeist.
How they described it, which I really, really like their quote about it. They said, these are the types of films that are so bad they're good, so good they're good, and so great they're good. And it's like, okay, this is somebody who's clearly passionate about this. And they went out with their friends like rented out a cabin and filmed this 70s style comedic plot about this blind girl who is the first chair of the Rome Symphony Orchestra. And they did this amazing thing where all these old Italian films are dubbed over. So they wiped all of the original audio that they recorded and dubbed it over shittily on an old-timey microphone, but it was recorded in English in the first place. So it just like matches what they're saying, but you can tell that that is a crappy dub, and it is so good. We were quoting it the entire week where every single line delivery was like intentionally just stilted and horrible. It was like, well, Anne, you shouldn't be surprised that you're the first chair of the Rome Symphony Orchestra. After all, you are the best violinist in Rome. No, Italy. No, the world. And he goes, it's not just that, Anne. It's your fingers, your talent with them as you're playing the instrument. It's like fresh Parmesan. And it's not just that, Anne. It's your body, Anne.
Nope, pull it out.
It's like a fresh bolognese, like my nan used to make. And like, it's like, oh, you shouldn't be surprised. You are the best violinist. And we're sleeping together. It's a conversation between the maestro and Anne. They say Anne probably like 400 times in the film. It is like every line of, do you hear that, Anne? There's music. And like a record starts playing and the maestro's like, what's that, Anne? I'll go investigate. And walks away, and a knife murderer steps out and like slashes the guy's head off. And it's this dramatic scene as his head like falls out the window, and he just randomly cuts to this outdoor diner. So a lady sitting there as a waiter comes by and goes, here's your Caesar salad. And she goes, thank you. I love Caesar salad. As a head just lands in the middle and she screams.
I really hope they dubbed the screen over, which is like, oh my god.
No, it was a good scream. They did have a good scream in there. And it cuts to a chalk outline of the cop investigating the scene. And it's a chalk outline of the guy's body and just a question mark where the head is. And the only witness to the crime was the seeing eye dog. Yes. And the officer goes, if only we could see into his mind like a movie, then we'd know who the killer is. But it's simply not possible. We don't have the technology. And one of my favorite tropes in short films, or films in general, is when they have a really stupid and blatantly unnecessary repetitive line. Because there ends up being a second murder that, once again, the dog is the only witness to. And you see the murder, and he just hard cuts to the detective again going, if only we could see into his mind like a TV show, then we'd know who the killer is. But we simply don't have the technology. It's like, yeah, we knew that. Like, that was clearly established information.
I love him like, if only we could do this, and then turning as if he's giving a presentation of, but we don't have the technology. It's like he's about to segue into something.
Yeah, bro, you can copy my homework, just don't make it obvious.
And of course, Anne takes the dog to the leading dog scientist in Rome.
Of course.
To see into his mind.
Rome,
like a movie.
well known for dog scientists.
Yeah. And they did have a great line in there of, but doctor, I've heard you're a quack. And he goes, well, Anne, if I was a quack, I'd be the leading duck scientist.
This should have won all the awards.
It was so good. It was ridiculous how good this film was. Like, I cannot understate how enjoyable of a watch it was.
It's so stupid. I love it. I love dumb humor.
And they see into the dog's mind to see the killer, and it ends up being like the second chair of the Rome Symphony Orchestra, or so they think. And they confront her, but then she's beheaded, and the real killer steps out. It's the police officer who's been investigating all of it, wearing a wig to look like her. And he goes, "Of course we could see into the minds of a dog like a movie. It's so obvious." And his entire motivation was he wanted to be the first chair of the Rome Symphony Orchestra, but he's terrible with the violin. So he has to just kill them all, I guess. And the dog then mauls him to death, which is the perfect ending.
They looked at each other. Good boy.
Actually, no, it's so much better than that. The dog mauls him, rips both of his eyes out. Anne's laughing, going, I think it was like Archie or something. There's a dog. Archie, rip his heart out. She goes, now you know what it's like to not see your killer. As he gets up, now blind, running, trips out the same window from the beginning. Cut to the same diner. The lady is getting another Caesar salad as the full body lands on the table, splashing blood all over her face, freeze frame on her scream, credits. And it was art.
That's art.
It was art, and my favorite part...
He was only 200,000 murders away from being the best violinist in Rome.
My favorite part was they had the boldness to completely fake their credits. They did not have real credits, which I didn't even notice the first time. And I was reading through it, and let's see, can I get the poster in full screen here? The entire credits were filled with the most fake Italian names you could imagine, where the lead actress was quoted as Giuseppina Montes Deoscana, which is not a real name. That is not what her name was. Put on other display? What are you asking, Borges? I don't know. Wait, can I do that? Yeah. I can just like slide this over? Okay, hold on. Let me figure this out. I'm a smart cookie.
I believe in you. Absolute Cinema. I like how Ames went over to YouTube just to use the Absolute Cinema emote.
Do I have to close out of OBS altogether?
No, just right click.
Oh, the projector?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Right. Do. Ah. Okay, and then I can maybe full screen this.
Hit F11.
So we get Corey a Diet Coke. I'm figuring fast.
You can just hit F11.
I told Chad I was going to make dinner on stream after this. I'm no longer going to do that. I'm going to stop it and get food on my way home.
Is it Windows Plus to zoom in?
So I can get something caffeinated.
Control Plus.
So, yes, this is the poster. Those are the screaming faces of the lady who lost her salad. Credit to Giuseppina Montes Deoscana, however you pronounce that. They also credited the English translations by, as if the whole thing wasn't recorded in English to begin with, and they put the copyright as 1975. So, I'm like, I admire their dedication to the bit of not even crediting the people who are in this film to continue the illusion that is old school Italian theater.
That's so funny.
It was a very great poster. And what's kind of amazing about it is the director described it during the Q&A as like, oh, he just went out with some friends to a cabin and they recorded this together. All of his friends happen to be incredibly successful stand-up comedians and artists.
Country says bro looks so familiar. That might be why then.
Yeah, these are all mostly famous people. Apparently, the person in blue there, is associated with Dropout. I didn't recognize her.
I can't really see who that face is based off that.
Yeah, the guy in orange there who plays the police officer, he is a very famous musician as well, and like all of them are really successful comedians. And it's like, yeah, when you're friends with really talented people, going out to just film something in a cabin with your friends happens to be that good.
That's awesome.
Their name is Mark. They host a show more often. Wow, I've seen the guy on the top left before. Yeah. And you can see a little chalk outline bit with a question mark in the poster as well.
Yeah. Anna Garcia.
Ah, yes. You are correct. Probably. Not that I would know.
Yeah, he is the good band name, bad band name. Okay.
So, yeah, this is my favorite film I saw at the festival. It deserves every award that it got. It got the audience pick, and it very much deserved it.
Wait, Hayden Spittin', they even got the Codenames Assassin on there.
Whoa! Who would have thought? I don't know what their budget was for this. They made it seem like it was filmed relatively cheaply, but I have no way of...
Relatively cheaply, but then like some people who also said I got like a $98,000 budget.
Yeah.
So, there's no way to really know.
They probably didn't have government funding, but it is probably likely that they just owned a lot of really good equipment.
If you have pro comedian friends, you have a friend with an Ari.
Yeah. So that was our favorite film that played during our block. Let's see. My favorite film outside of our block was one of my favorite short film, I guess I should say, was one of the narrative shorts. That was really cool. I was so disappointed. Everyone from my group only went to narrative shorts 1, and then they bailed for the rest of them.
What the hell?
I know. I was the only person. I'm like, well, I'm here to see things, and the feature films, for most of them, it's possible for me to see them outside of the festival. But the short films, I'm like never seeing those if I don't see them now. So I went to see one of them. How are the other films called? Short films, if Corey isn't even in them.
You had to read that one out loud?
I
Couldn't let that one scroll by?
When I started reading it out loud, I didn't know what the punchline was.
All right.
I hadn't read that far.
The only short person in the world. Starring Danny DeVito. Yeah, but Corey isn't in it.
Yeah, but Corey, he's only a couple inches taller. It counts.
There was this really impressive one that genuinely I was just like smiling the whole time watching it because I'm like, this is really good. I just really enjoy this. Where it was kind of like a sad story too. It was called "Can I Put You on Hold?" And the premise, at least, is that most of it takes place in a room that hasn't been moved into yet. Like a guy's just arriving, everything's still in boxes, and he's on the phone with immigration, I guess, customs, whatever it is, trying to get approval for his fiancée to join him in America. And basically, it was this whole like back and forth of, we thought, we had this arrangement. We thought, this is like certain law that we're going to be like brought in under, but now you're like turning her away. And it was this like back and forth thing, and it leads to them putting him on hold, the namesake of the film. And so far, everything's just taken place in this one small, dingy room that has like nothing in it. And you've just been kind of following the story, getting like kind of the sad beats of like, oh, like this doesn't seem like it's working out. He's in this horrible like bureaucratic situation. And it shows him like unpackaging one of the boxes and pulling out one of the shirts that is his fiancee's. And he starts kind of like doing a dance with the shirt, like pretending as if it's his wife there with him in America and them dancing together. And, it's sad and it's sweet, and then out of nowhere, his dance moves get really good and like choreographed and intense. And it's like, oh wait, where is this coming from? And he takes the shirt and like dude perfect trick shots it onto a hanger, and you start to realize, oh, they haven't cut camera yet. They're still going as he's doing this like very impressive choreography around this room as the camera's now spinning with him as he's like taking things from boxes, like photos and everything, and throwing them onto the walls and them sticking all without cutting. And I'm like, holy shit, it's a really impressive one-er out of nowhere, which I personally like more than the one-ers that you see coming. It's like, oh, this just slapped you like out of nowhere. Oh, they're no longer cutting camera, and everything that's happening is really, really impressive. And they do that thing where by the time they spin around the room, the entire lighting of the room has changed to be like a different season. Like it looks completely different. Like the walls have changed, everything's different, and it's like kind of a hallucination as if he's living a life where his fiancée can be with him. And they break the one-er to go into more of a dream sequence of them like dancing together. And they have these really cool shots that I don't even really know how they got them of, it looked like they were like suspended on a crane somehow, like flying through like open fields. And like, I know for at least one of them, they were suspended over the bed of a truck to make it look like they were flying together. And it was just like really good filmmaking. And it finally gets back to him and it has kind of this like bittersweet ending of him calling her and saying that, you know, she's not going to be able to come in, but he's packing his bags to head to Taiwan to be with her. And it's like, oh, wow. So they're going to be together, but it's not where they imagined.
Bittersweet.
He was on the phone with Glory and I was playing Papers, Please.
Yeah, we were stamping people denial on the passport there.
So you were the villain in that story.
We were the villain, yeah. We were stamping deny constantly.
I have been seeing all the throwing.
We weren't looking at paperwork or anything. We just really liked the red stamp. Felt like power. So we got sued so many times. We should have let a lot of people in.
What was the award that you won? We won a staff pick award, which is very cool, because it was out of everyone in the festival. It wasn't just our midnight shorts block. So yeah, staff member liked it.
That, and also, I won't say which publication, but there was also I saw online you guys had a pretty major publication like write a blog article about your short.
Yeah, we did.
Hell yeah.
I can't really like mention the name of the article, but that did happen. The directors have been getting some really cool interviews recently post film.
That's great, man. You guys worked hard. It's a beautiful film, and I love it a lot, so I'm glad to see you guys finally get the recognition you deserve. Unfortunately, you can't really talk too much about some of the awards and recognition for, you know, your own sake, but it is very cool. Yeah. Nonetheless.
Let's see, I'm trying to think if there are any more relevant stories to tell. Oh, also, I should just say, Austin was beautiful as a city.
It's walkable.
He is. Oh, the city. Oh. Yeah,
Austin
the city's
was
beautiful.
stunning, and the city was fine too.
Austin, a breath of fresh air in a sea of mediocrity. And the city was all right.
You guys want the code names or what? Ban that guy. Whoever said that.
Ban that guy. Ban that guy. I don't give a shit that there's a one next to his name. Get him out of here.
I'm yapping. Was it? That seems sarcastic based off the Morgan emote, but it was. I really liked Austin. The whole city was walkable. At least the area that we were in was walkable, and it was nice because we didn't have to Uber everywhere. So we would walk. It was like a 40-minute walk to any theater we wanted to get to, and we would do it. Oh, they did have one evil, no good thing that they did, which was you get some free stuff for being a contributor, and one of the things that they gave us was a little like redemption card that you could redeem one free coffee a day.
Straight to Facebook Marketplace.
Straight to Facebook Marketplace. More like Yap Gamers. For today, yes.
Hey, it's bored yappers to you.
This is a special day. It's first day back from my trip. I'm gonna do a lot of yapping. But you could redeem one free coffee a day. But we went to like the filmmaker hangout area where they had a coffee stand. I'm like, oh, free coffee, please. I'm like, no, you can't redeem that here. You have to go to the Jimmy Bean pop-up. And we're like, what the hell is that? And like, oh, you can follow the address on the ticket. but the ticket, like, had the addresses written in a very confusing way. So we were like walking around town, just like not finding this stupid place, and would go into more South by Southwest affiliated coffee places, and we'd be like, coffee please? And like, no, you need to find the secret one that's in the middle of nowhere.
They sent you on a little treasure hunt.
They did, and we're like, whatever, we're busy. I'm just gonna buy a coffee and not worry about it.
Wait, Mark, I got a pitch for you.
Okay.
What if you could have coffee?
Unlimited coffee.
But no coffee.
Yeah, so on the final day we were there, I had a little bit of time, and I'm like, you know what? Screw it. I'm finding this stupid pop-up. I'm getting my dang free coffee. So me and the art director, we ventured out together, and it was like the farthest venue from the house that we went to, like the entire time we were there. It was actually in the middle of nowhere. It was like a 50-minute walk. There was nothing around it. There was a like active construction pit that was like a quarter mile across that you had to go around, that was like blocking off the main passages to get there.
Well, did you meet him? Jimmy Bean?
Good question.
Jimmy Bean passed away in 1974.
No!
And never got to see the cultural impacts of his work. Rather unfortunate.
Yeah, I could have gone to Buc-ee's, but instead, Coffee Quest 3.
There wasn't a Buc-ee's within a 50-minute walk. If there's a Buc-ee's even within like an hour and a half walk, I would have gone. There wasn't. We didn't pass a single Buc-ee's.
Just no Buc-ee's in all of Austin, Texas.
That's a fact.
Bucky-less.
So we fought our way there, and we finally got in. We realized there's a time cutoff too. It's like, oh, you have to redeem this before 2 p.m. We're like, well, what time is it? 1:45. So we're like sprinting to get there, fighting our way up, and we finally, all it cost us was a full hour walk plus sprints plus much of our life. But we got one free cup of coffee.
Let's go!
Noah just subscribed with Prime.
Whoa!
On a 9-month streak. Holy moly!
Highlight the baby message.
I don't like the baby messages.
It's 9 months. We gotta celebrate. It's a milestone, baby.
W Moa.
W Moa.
Finally getting a Buc-ee's in Kansas City. Might already be open. Yo, that's awesome.
I wish Buc-ee's came to Detroit.
Prediction on the Yap Fest. What does that prediction look like? Does Mark shut the hell up? Yes, no.
Does Chad bully Mark into being sad?
Thank you for creating this baby with me.
You're welcome. Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's fair because Chad does all the work.
Anyway. This coffee stand was in the middle of one of the technology expos. Mm-hmm. They had music, they had film, and they had technology there. And I would say at least 60, probably 70% of the stands there were AI.
Oh.
It was all AI. It was so hard to find something that wasn't AI. And there was one stand I absolutely hated.
Was it the Grok one?
It wasn't the Grok one. Oh yeah, I guess I could mention that too. It was like AI for humanity. And it was like, what if we had AI solve humanitarian issues?
Ooh, like cancer and like serious diseases?
No. Like, oh, it was AI for human rights is what it was. And it's like, what if we used AI for human rights? I'm like, what does that mean? What does that mean? This is awful. No, he will yap forever with 100% of the vote. Interesting.
That's good.
Going all in.
You could shut up right now and rob so many people of points.
I could. That would be so funny. So yeah, AI stuff was miserable. It unfortunately was in a lot of places in the festival, which I didn't like. And
it's the future.
One of the people who won one of the awards for the Technology Expo I didn't see much of the Technology Expo, so I didn't see it with my own eyes, but they announced it as, it was like, oh, there's really creative piece that, you know, utilize like innovative VR stuff and AI technology. And me and my group abstained from clapping during that one.
That's fair.
And I wish more people did. And somebody who was sitting near us was offended by us doing that and leaned over and said something to our art director. And I couldn't really hear what they said. Allegedly, they're like, oh, well, it was actually against AI. And our art director's response was, I don't care. It's like they used it. like I don't really care. I'm going to, if they're announcing it as a piece that used AI, I'm going to abstain from celebrating it.
Yeah, that's fair.
Don't stop yapping. You're happy to hear about this. Thank you, Ander. I appreciate it. Oh, but to add on to the us being gutter trash goblins lore.
Of course, yes. Continue this.
We're so trashy. It was unreal. There is a fast food joint in Texas that might be in other places as well. People have to enlighten me. Called P. Terry's. Not sure if you've ever heard of it. We had never heard of it before.
No, there's somebody who goes by a similar name, but I was gonna say he's in jail now, but he's not anymore. They let him go. I wouldn't eat there personally if that was a restaurant.
Let's see. P. Terry's looks like the closest one to us is in Texas, so I guess seems pretty local to Texas. P. Terry's. I've never heard of it. Really? But you live in Texas, right? Maz, have you heard of it? I'm assuming.
It looks like it's only in Austin and San Antonio.
Okay, it's very local
That's
to
it.
Austin and San Antonio then. But this is, yeah, not bad. Yeah, it is a very cheap, very, you know what you're getting into burger place.
Okay.
You could get a burger for like $3, and it was like average quality, I suppose.
Better or worse than McDonald's?
I haven't had a McDonald's burger in a very long time. I would say slightly better than McDonald's.
All right, that's a good sign.
And
How was the service? Were you able to get sauce if you wanted it?
You able to slop up them burgers?
Because if I could, that's the reason we haven't gone back to McDonald's, is because they act like scared puppies running from you every time you try to ask them for anything.
so there's a language issue that we had with the people at P. Terry's. And my group, when thoroughly conveying that they wanted ketchup, received so much ketchup that it lasted us throughout the entire week, and we had like handfuls worth that we just left in the fridge for the next people because they're like, whatever.
All right, so the opposite problem, got it.
But that's their experience. My experience was they handed me the burger, and I go, do you guys have fork and knife? Do you have like a plastic fork and knife I could use? And make a little motion, fork and knife. I feel like this is a pretty clear motion, a fork and knife. And the guy goes, no. And luckily the art director is with me. He points to the clear case that is on the counter that visibly has plastic forks and knives. And he's like, could he get one of those? And the guy very reluctantly opens the drawer and hands me a fork and no knife, and then walks away. And I call someone else like, can I have a knife? And they eventually give it to me, but they really didn't want to. Yeah, that was my experience. But
Sounds about right.
when we got off the plane on Wednesday, it was a little bit late at night. We were looking for a place to go, and Joe, the music composer, his cousin, was in town. And I was like, oh yeah, I'm an Austin local. I'll take you guys around. And we're looking for something that's open. It's like 12 or no, it's 11 or something at this point at night. And he's like, oh, we'll go to P. Terry's.
P. Terry's!
P. Terry's. It's like McDonald's, but in Texas. And we go there. It is very cheap, perfectly reasonable for its price burger that we got. And we're like, oh, this is good. And then, since it was only the four of us who were on the plane, the next day when people were walking home, like, oh, have you guys tried P. Terry's yet? It's like this burger place. It's a pretty good deal. So they all end up going with their own little group excursion to P. Terry's. And they go, well, we've been every day so far. Might as well make it a streak. So, to add on to the gutter trash persona, I think a more Detroit equivalent would be like, yo, Royal Farm streak! Every day we get in the Rofo chicken!
You would be on the toilet for weeks. I love the chicken. It's good. Once every 6 months.
At a very high-class festival where people are spending a lot of money to be there, people running around with a contributor's badge going, yo, P. Terry streak, we can't break it. We gotta go back.
Oh yeah, fucking P. Terry's, baby.
Let's go.
Borgos, you are spitting on that Royal Farms every 6 months angle, though. I'm going to say that for a fact.
My dad would have me go pick him up from Detroit International, and every single time he would ask me for the same order so many times that he just stopped asking, and I would just show up with it.
Nice.
So yeah, we got to experience the joys of P. Terry's.
The legend of P. Terry.
Look, if there's a Buc-ee's in walking distance, we would have gone there, but there wasn't. We had to go to friggin' P. Terry's.
Let's replace some P. Terry's with Buc-ee's, and we'll get you there next time.
Okay.
Board Gamers road trip to Buc-ee's.
Alston, make it happen. Next time we're back, you better have a Buc-ee's waiting for us. It was kind of cool. One of the theaters that we went to pretty often, it was the Alamo Theater. The walk from the Airbnb we were staying at, it was a 40-minute walk. But we're looking at it on Google Maps, and it's this like ridiculous path where you have to like go way down out of the neighborhood. We have to like cut along a highway and then come back the way we came down like another road to get to the theater. And we're like, surely there is a shortcut here. And I ended up, the nearest,
It's under 4 hours to the nearest Buc-ee's.
Okay.
We can make a day trip of that.
How long's the walk?
Ooh, good question.
Working.
We can get our steps in. Oh, it's okay, only 3 days.
It's only a 3-day walk.
Yeah.
It's just 72 hours on the nose.
3-day board gamers hike to a Buc-ee's.
To a Buc-ee's.
Then we'll drive back.
Yeah.
But yes, so I did the walk the first time, and I was very happy. I'm like, it's gonna be borderline impossible if a shortcut exists. It's gonna be impossible to find it from the neighborhood because there's just like too many individual like cutoff points, and it's like weird just wandering around a residential area and stuff like that. It's just a confusing area. But I'm like, certainly, if I go from the theater and try to find a way back, I'll be able to find a path. And I was correct. And once again, these more esteemed filmmakers watched me skitter behind a restaurant, behind their dumpster. The dumpster was the landmark that I used to crawl over.
Are those the guys you were saying flew in on Spirit Airlines? Yes, it is.
It's such a bad impression of us. So the dumpster is the landmark to look for. You had to skitter back, crawl over railroad tracks, and then you would find marked trails that did in fact take us back to the neighborhood. And this made it from a 40-minute walk to a 15-minute walk. So it was a worthwhile investment.
That is a crazy shortcut.
It is. I got to tell everyone, like, I found a secret path. We got it.
You just gotta come behind this dumpster. Come on, let me show you.
Yeah, I had to draw a map for them because they were trying to find it without me at one point, and I did have to circle where the dumpster was. Yeah, that's how we acted most of the festival. They're not inviting us back. Ever.
The entire city of Detroit is banned from ever appearing.
They're going to be revealing the different short films that come in as submissions. They go, oh, Mark? Reject.
Not this time.
Not this time. Or any time after, actually. Denied forever. Banned for life.
And the trail was pretty cool because when you were walking around Alston, you could see a bunch of people with the South by badges. That's how kind of people identified. And it's cool because there's a pecking order as well, where if you were cool and like awesome, you had a green badge like I had.
That was a creator badge?
Those are the contributor badges. If you're rich, you had a black badge. That was the platinum badge that had full access. And then if you're only seeing some of the TV things or some of the film things and you don't really get reservations, you had a blue badge and then the innovation people had an orange one. And you would see them around town walking. But once you got to the trails, we were the only people wearing badges, meaning what we found was actually trails only really used by the locals, which is cool.
That is pretty sick.
So to see people like walking their dogs and everything. And I was like, haha, I found your spot. I'm an outsider.
Just holding up the badge.
Off to Detroit we go.
Scamper off.
Yes. And yo, thank you for the follow. Sorry, I might be a little bit late on reading that. And usually I have a little notification when people follow, but it's a Baroque right now.
No, it happened.
Oh, it did?
Yeah, it just wasn't
Oh.
a Phoebe.
It wasn't a Phoebe. I'm not
was a
used to it.
normal follow.
Oh, well, thank you for the follow.
Hold on, I gotta take a second here
Oh, yeah,
to
of
break
course.
this up. I just saw two insane things back to back in chat I have to address. Whataburger is mid, incorrect. Whataburger's great. I like Whataburger a lot. When I had it, I only ever had it once, but it was really good. Whataburger is a better Wendy's. How dare you? Wendy's is my goat. Do not slander my goat like that.
Not a big fan of Wendy's.
What?
Not a big fan.
I'm a huge fan of Wendy's.
Yeah.
My
I haven't
Wendy's
been very
people,
often.
Wendy's people are Wendy's people. Mom Ghost is a Wendy's person.
Five Guys double cheeseburger. It's like, yeah, okay, yeah, if you're going to the Ritz, you're gonna have a better stay.
You know what? I think this truffling toasted tomahawk steak is better than your Pete Harris burger.
Far superior.
Oh yes, do they have truffle fries at this establishment?
Bro, I actually, unpopular opinion, I think the gold crusted tomahawk steak is better than the steak you can get from Waffle House. Personally.
Sorry, that was unnecessary.
No, that was necessary. That one was necessary. That's crazy.
I've never been to Whataburger, but they do have my respect because when we were walking, one of my friends had to pee real bad and he ran into a Whataburger. they just let him go.
That's crazy. No, Five Guys is fucking exorbitantly expensive. I got a burger, fries, and a drink last time I went, and it was almost $30. Just a normal burger. Nothing crazy. Baseline burger.
Sheesh.
Yeah.
That's rough.
Tough, man.
But yeah, when we weren't harassing the locals, I did run into a rough situation at one point where, through a series of unfortunate events, I had to walk back alone in the middle of the night, which is not optimal.
No.
And I was at the Alamo Theater, and I'm like, well, I need to weigh my options here, because that secret path that I found that makes it a 15-minute journey instead of a 40-minute journey is not lit. It is in the woods at night
Behind a dirty dumpster.
behind a dumpster.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I should probably just take the well-lit and decent sidewalks to get back instead. But then I thought about it. I'm like, well, wait a minute. The people waiting to jump me are expecting me to take the sidewalks.
Dude, no. Why?
If there are dangerous people in the woods, they're not there waiting for me. They're just there doing their own thing. They're
They
not
will just kill
expecting
you.
me, but I have the element of surprise.
No, you don't.
I do.
What the fuck are you talking about?
They're not expecting other people to be going through the woods.
Yeah, see, they're out there rocking the fentline out in the wood. They're just
Yeah,
not paying
Bro,
attention.
you
yeah.
fucking.
I didn't want to phrase it like
through
that.
The woods.
I wasn't going to say those words, but yes. That's exactly right. Mark logic. I actually like this Mark logic. So here,
Oh, you're gonna get mugged.
no.
Sorry, you're right. You won't get mugged. You'll get killed. Very big difference.
Okay, I was aware that the risk is more injury at that point rather than being mugged.
The risk is you'll die. The risk is you will get killed, murdered in the woods, and then when we find
You
your
haven't
body.
even heard my full strategy yet.
I know your fucking strategy.
My full strategy was I stayed like kind of in more shady areas when I was near the dumpster. I waited for a minute because I could listen and see to make sure there weren't people nearby. I listened.
Metal Gear game.
I didn't hear any signs of life. Plus, less walking time for you to get hurt. Precisely. I'm about to debunk that soon, but precisely for now. And so I snuck to the rail lines, moving as quietly as I physically could over the rocks, over the rails, until I reached the trailhead, at which point I gave another kind of, while hiding over the hill of the rails, listened for a moment, once again, heard nothing, and then I turned on my flashlight and dead sprinted through the woods. Knowing
You're telling me, I want to reiterate this, you're telling me that you had the element of surprise.
Yes! Yeah, obviously. The only thing I could have done different was scream.
Brother, you are running at full speed with your flashlight on. How is that you having the element of surprise?
Because they don't know what's coming at them. This was a very short stretch of woods, by the way.
Okay,
very
all right,
short.
all right.
They would only have a second to see me coming. They're, in the woods doing their devious schemes. All of a sudden, a flash of light, and and they're like, whoa, what was that skittering about?
Raccoon.
A little raccoon going by. They're blinded by the flashlight. Yes, it was a short enough stretch of woods. By the time they noticed the flashlight, and at the moment of like, oh, that's a person, like, you have to think, they don't know who I am, what I am.
Right.
I could be dangerous. I could be police for all they know. And then I'm gone into the night. And I made it back safe. And that's the important thing.
Okay, all right.
Noah with the 2 bits, Simpy with the 2 bits, gerbil, not raccoon.
Sorry, garbage goblin, not gerbil.
These crazy garbage goblins, Austin Munger. I assume Mark was Naruto running. I would have, but that's very dangerous.
Yeah, he couldn't hold the flashlight that way.
Mark at South by Southwest with a raccoon emoji is insane.
Dude, you're gonna be the next Bigfoot. Somebody's gonna take a picture of you doing that and be like, look at this weird alien creature I've just discovered in Austin, Texas, dashing through the woods late at night.
Love how much thought you're putting into this. What we're avoiding zombies. I was avoiding dangerous people in the night, okay? I was very worried, I was very scared, and I assessed, using sound Mark logic, that this was the safest option.
I know in your head what you're saying makes sense, but you have to understand, from my perspective, you're telling me the safest thing you failed to do was go into the dark woods in the middle of the night behind a dumpster, turn on your flashlight and sprint at the speed of light and just hope.
Yes, because the flashlight didn't turn on until I was already in the woods. So I was able to assess if there were people by the dumpster. Like when I was still in a more like city area, I was able to assess if people were there, quietly get to the woods where by the time if I run into people, these are not people waiting for me in any way, shape, or form, and do a quick sprint through the woods. The flashlight was necessary for me to know where I'm going.
I'm not saying I don't believe you in your logic. I'm not saying your logic is not sound. I'm just saying you have to understand from my perspective, this is insane.
Sorry, keep Austin Mark is a hilarious comment. Keep Austin weird.
But to ask Country's question, did you do any sightseeing? Did you have time to do sightseeing?
I did a little bit. I did some hiking around the Colorado River, I believe it is, that runs through Austin.
I think Country's asking if you see the Capitol building or anything like that.
I saw it. I didn't like go up to it. It was presumably the building that I saw was the Capitol building. The street leading up to it was infested by the festival. So while we were hanging out, just doing other festival activities, you'd look down the row and see the Capitol building, which was
Okay,
kind of
so
cool.
you saw it, but you never went to it.
Yeah, I wanted to walk to it, but I was with somebody else at the time, and they weren't really interested. So I should have just left them in the dust because they a poser and a fake.
Well, yeah, I mean, you're willing to go into the woods behind a dumpster at night by yourself, so I don't see why,
I still think it's safer than going on the kind of sketchy road sidewalks.
Did you see the weird people? Ames, have you not been listening to all of his stories? We have concluded that he is the weird people. What do you mean?
Yes, I did see the weird people, to answer your question. It was like Walmart, there's always someone weirder than you in Austin. And with the 2 bits, holy moly. 34 minutes till quarter returns, is that a fact?
Oh, fuck, I gotta get out of here.
Oh, frick. You gotta leave.
I gotta get fucking out of here, man!
Oh man, speed round of code names.
I do actually think you'd be playing Codenames by yourself. So,
That's entirely possible.
that's a bit of an L. That's a bit of an L.
Yeah, it happens. Or we could do Infinite Guess Who. That's what it is on the stream. I don't know. I'm trying to think if there are any other quick stories I wanted to tell. I did recap a good portion of the trip. You guys got the gist of it.
It
a lot of
was.
fun.
It sounds like a very fun trip, and I'm very happy for you that you got to enjoy it.
Oh, sorry, I did remember. There's one more.
Okay, let's hear it.
Which was, I was mentioning this before with my mountains upon mountains of snacks that I had hidden in my pockets at all times. I really do like to be prepared. And people don't appreciate my preparedness until they need me, which is nice. And it's also kind of funny. Me and Board Ghost are very similar while being polar opposites in this regard of what type of prepared we are, where I am at all times prepared with creature comforts per se. I have food, I usually have water, I'll have phone chargers, I'll usually have like little like knickknacks with me too, like a yo-yo or stuff like that. I keep just a lot of things on me that is very convenient when people need it. Board Ghost typically doesn't carry anything like that besides water. But Board Ghost, at any given time, if you're like, man, we're in the middle of the desert right now, and I just really need an Allen key, Board Ghost will suddenly have every size available for you.
Borgos is
Board
always
Ghost is
locked
currently
with tools.
grabbing an Allen key. Oh no!
Ow, you failed. The one time we needed it, Borgos. I've never needed an Allen wrench before in my life, and the one time.
I do always need a yo-yo. You never know.
Ooh, fuck
Well,
Allen
hey,
wrenches.
Allen wrenches.
Hey.
Hey, I needed those.
Thanks.
And that's why you keep a spare nearby.
I don't know what to do with these now, but they're mine.
So, like, look, if you need an air pump, go to Board Ghost. If you're a little peckish, go to Mark.
Yeah, sometimes I carry gum. That's about it.
Mark, start carrying a kazoo, please. That's a good idea.
I like to think, if you need tools, you go to Mark. Or if you need tools, go to Board Ghost. If you're peckish, go to Mark. And then I'm just kind of like, I carry a weird, eclectic mix of things that you wouldn't think you would need, but then do wind up needing at some point or another. I like to just carry random shit with me. And it's not always useful, but when it is, it's nice.
Between the three of us,
Between the three of us. You guys definitely have the more useful things, but I'll come through sometimes.
Mark is pocket egg all the time, logic occasionally. I'll accept that. Okay.
Hey, you got the occasionally. That's the best you can ask for.
Yeah, occasionally is more than never. Quite better than ever, mind you. And our group didn't really prepare that well when it came to packing food. Hence all the P. Terry stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And I had told people, I'm like, look, I have snacks on me. They saw me eating the snacks and everything. When we were in the airport during the layover, I'd offer I got Pop-Tarts with me. I got granola bars, this, that, the other. One of my favorite things during one of the nights, our director, Lincoln, may have been slightly inebriated.
Ever so slightly.
I wasn't there. I guarantee you that's an understatement.
And Lincoln was posted up in one of the downstairs beds, and I was in one of the upstairs beds, so we were kind of separated. And Lincoln just texted me in the middle of the night. He's like, Mark, do you still have those Pop-Tarts? Could I please have one? And I'm like, I'm running low on snacks. All right, I guess text him back. They're on the kitchen counter. I hit send. You immediately hear, whoop! 30 seconds later, I receive a pic of Lincoln and the director of photography shirtless in bed together with Pop-Tarts hanging out their mouth. And I'm like, that was an unnecessary photo to send in response.
Jesus Christ.
I had I had a decent bit of Pop-Tarts left, including one that got crushed in my bag. So I'm like, I'll just save this for later. I'll eat it eventually with a spoon or fork and knife.
And instead it got devoured.
They were all gone. It was like Tasmanian devil. They were vanished.
There's a bunch of crumbs of Pop-Tarts sitting around.
You even took the crushed one? There we go. I didn't notice. Kelsey with the 2 bits and Simpy with the 2 bits. Holy moly. Paying the tax. Thank you so much.
Well, Mark, apparently I was just reminded in chat that apparently I'm still live at home. I'm still live. My stream's still going. I'm in the middle of a subathon. I gotta get back to it.
Oh my goodness. You gotta get out of here.
I gotta get out of here, but before I do, it's been a while since we've done this, so let me do it since it's sitting in front of me.
Yes, I'll save my voice for now.
Chat! Mark's gonna be talking a lot by himself for a second, so I'm gonna take care of it this time. It's been a minute! We have a Patreon, patreon.com/boardgamerslive. You can go check that. We do exclusive streams twice a month over there. It's a lot of fun. And if you sub it, is it any tier? Is it any tier? What tier is the roll call?
Roll call's any tier.
If you sub at any tier on there, your name gets added to a list for roll call. And I get to call you guys out. So if your name is read, please say you're present in chat so that way we know that you have made attendance for this board gamer stream. Woo. So shout out to our Patreons, Ons, Ames, Doc, Mystique, Country Mozart, Irish Tea, Jeremy, Sierra, Mo Dirt, Kelsey, Shania, Lisa, Methodic Ash, Synthesis, Chill Pup 35, Anita, Lena Hacks, Hinall, Katie, Angie, Hayden is Tired, Justa, Coopster, Ias, Norma, Spiky Poser, Bunny May, Mitch, Chloe Moon, KT Bug 05, Live Dog, Louisa, Ginny Pie, Lily, Peanut, Freya, Jason, Loki, Dana, Leah Newton, Noah equals Moa, Kimberly, Amber, Cherry Poppins, Mint, Thorn, Countless Eidolon, A, Hosbomb, Betsy, Dallas, Alex, Anna, Ray, Amber Skies, Kayla, Lexi, Samara Mai, Simpy Q, Heather, Andy Lizzing, Aaron Nicole, Momo Ray, Nev, Mary, Austin Calm Baby, Layla, The Hog, and T Mac, our newest patron.
Woo! Thank you all so much. And also, thank you so much, Amber Skies for the 2 bits, Amberlyn with the 4 bits, Kelsey Weasel with the 2 bits, and Ander with the 2 bits.
Now, Mark, I gotta get fucking out of here, man. I'm still live at home.
You gotta get out of here.
I gotta get out of here.
Careful with those Allen wrenches.
Ah, don't worry. What's the worst that could happen? They fall and comically smash my foot?
Yes.
Ah,
Precisely.
you know.
Oh my goodness. Goodbye, Corey. Good night. Goodbye. I guess at this point we can pay out the Mark never shuts up believers.
Well, I think it's safe that we start a game before we don't pay that out.
But what if I have more stories to tell? Did you consider that? Kind of missed that Blimby guy. Yeah, gone too soon. I want to hear more stories. I'll see if I have many left. I was not completely finished with my Boy Scout being prepared stories.
See, and it's good I didn't pay out the prediction yet.
That is fair. Well, me playing the game is still me yapping. There's no reason for me to shut up anymore. It is now only me. But yeah, people make fun of me for carrying forks and knives on me at all times. I've been made fun of many of the times until somebody needs one, and then I'm fucking knight in shining armor. Let me tell you, I am King Arthur pulling the fork from the sword for them.
That's such a unique phrase.
And the last film festival that we were at, which was not South by Southwest, it was a smaller one, we snuck food into the theater with us, and our director sat down with their food and knocked their fork onto the floor, and they were like, "Oh no!" And by the time they finished saying that, I had a fork ready for them, and they're like, "You just had that?" I'm like, "Well, yeah, I always have an extra on me." And on the plane ride back, when I was sitting with the 2 cool people, the guy who is totally cool with people being shot and killed in Houston, and the other girl, what was that? Huh?
Oh, were they in Houston?
They were in Houston for the rodeo. Yeah.
Okay, I missed that.
Yeah, there's no shooting in Austin, thankfully. Mark forked someone. SMH. Are these plastic utensils or real? Plastic. Always plastic. I don't carry real utensils on me. It's a liability. It's dangerous. But
That's how he knows.
It was the guy from Austin and a girl from Jamaica who was living the best life ever. She had dual citizenship between Jamaica and the U.S., came to the U.S. to work, and spent all of her time and money in Jamaica, which is a really good exchange rate. You can make like not that much money here and live really well in Jamaica.
Cost of living in Jamaica is low.
And she's like, oh yeah, I fly all the time, you know, I only come to America to work when I have to occasionally. And she goes, I work from home too, from time to time. So whenever I feel like it, I just go back to Jamaica and work from home for that week. And I'm like, wow, you are living the best life ever. But she had done the flight so often, she knew all like the hacks for like the menus and like the Wi-Fi and everything. Or apparently you don't have to pay for the Wi-Fi to connect to it and be able to see where your flight is over the water. Like they for free show you the GPS coordinates of the plane, which is really cool, and like a live updating estimated arrival time.
I was gonna ask, do they do that on the back of the headrest? But I forgot you flew Spirit.
Yeah, I flew Spirit. They don't have those. I would have stolen the screen and pawned it for copper. So, they know better.
There are dudes waiting in Detroit Airport, just waiting on those screens.
I have a contact in Detroit Airport waiting for the screens that I steal from unsuspecting Lufthansa Airlines. Anyway. She also knew the optimized orders to get on the plane, which was really cool because like you could get Pringles chips, like a little case of Pringles chips for $5, which is ridiculous and horrible. But in the same price category as the Pringles chips is a cup of oats, like oatmeal, which is much more filling, much more calorie dense, and the same price as like the overpriced chips. And as well as it was like $4 or something for a soda, but you could get a much better like hot chocolate for $4, which for a hot chocolate, that's kind of a reasonable price. Like you'd pay $4 for a hot chocolate like a Starbucks or something.
How big is it though? Is it like bigger than your fist?
It was like 12 ounces. It wasn't huge, it wasn't awful.
Ate a lot more in Disney World, I'll tell you that.
But she ordered the oats, and the flight attendant goes, "Oh, sorry, we don't have any spoons for the oats." And she goes, "Well, I can do a fork." And they go, "No, sorry, we don't have that either." Once again, I emerged victorious with a wrapped plastic fork, being like, I have one of these, I can save the day. And once again, got a weird look from the flight attendant of going, "You just carry those on you?" And yes, I do, and yes, it was important for situations exactly like this. So I gave her the fork, and then the guy next to me desperately needed a phone charger, so I lent him my portable charger, and I was a king on that plane. I was an absolute hero. Anyone in their time of need, I was coming to their aid. Mark is those superheroes they talk about. Shh, don't unmask me. If Phoenix Jones can't find out I'm stealing his spotlight. I may have done more good in that plane ride than Phoenix Jones did in his career. I'm joking. Phoenix Jones did actually do some very like cool things, just kind of like, you know, cleaning up stuff in the community, helping people cross the street, stuff like that. He's a good dude. Don't worry, your secret's safe with me. This is just like Spider-Man and Spider-Man 2. When he's unmasked and the New Yorkers decide, secret's safe with us. This is exactly equivalent. Oh, and the other thing that I forgot to mention, I don't know if this is like an Austin thing or a Texas thing in general. Maybe people from Texas can confirm whether this is a universal thing or not. Texas International Airport, where we landed, the most shocking thing to me was you could not walk 10 feet without there being a vending machine. And these weren't like normal vending machines. These were all weird vending machines. They had vending machines for Pokemon cards. They had vending machines for Lego sets. They had vending machines for phone chargers and a separate one for phone accessories. They had a coffee vending machine. They had like a computer cable vending machine. It was everywhere. Not all heroes wear capes. Yeah, and like, is that a universal experience for Texas? Because I'm like, I have never seen this many vending machines and this variety of vending machines in my life. Yes, says Heather. Texas has an airport. At least one. I don't know. Does Austin really count as Texas? Is it its own jurisdiction at this point?
Hayden, I
Yeah,
believe
so the
Texas
airport,
is
stuff like
5
that,
times
too.
the size of your entire country, so I'd imagine they have at least one.
Got a full meal after the food places were closed. A full pre-made meal from a vending machine. That does go kind of hard. Saw a soup vending machine not a week ago. All I can imagine is the bowl falling and exploding. Soup
So
spilling everywhere.
unoptimized. They just drop it open, no lid.
It is a loose bowl of soup, room temperature, pushed along, shatters.
I saw a short ages ago of, it was a vending machine that was just packed with the wrong stuff, or just like, they just really didn't consider it. And they're looking at it, and they look at the vending machine and they're like, I don't see one of those little cup carrier machines that move around and grab the soda and then bring it to the side. They just have like canned sodas on the top shelf of this drop vending machine. So if I just order a Coke from the top shelf, is it just going to explode on me? And yes, it exploded on them.
Amazing. You can get your nails painted at a vending machine? I wouldn't trust that. I feel like it would steal my nails. I don't know. I'm not. I'm not trusting the AI overlords with my nails being done.
You're walking through Texas International and you see a man get his nails stolen. Ah! Help me! Everyone just keeps walking.
I'm not falling for that twice. No one wants your nails, Mark. I mean, okay, no human maybe, but we're talking about the AI. You don't know their motives. You don't know what they want. Maybe this is part of a larger plan. I've seen that Simply a Nailogical video where their nails get stolen. What? You order soup and it pours 1 liter of liquid into a drop spout below. You gotta scoop it out with your hands. That could be possible. I mean, I didn't try the soup vending machines. I don't know that it doesn't do that. They're taking your DNA for aliens. Not Ander commenting in Blimby's chat to Mark. Lol. What did Ander say? Board goes, check Corey's chat.
Hold, please.
I need a source on this. It's designed like a bubblegum machine, just filled with loose soup. I mean, that could kind of work. I could kind of see the vision for that. Oh, hey, we just pull up Corey's stream, and it's me. All right. Was TSA insane? Oops, Mark can't see this chat. TSA was not insane, Ander. We got very lucky. We were able to, when we were leaving from Detroit, we walked through with basically no lines and no safety checks. They let me through the metal detectors with my belt on, and they let my friend Joe in with a full Nalgene of water. Not very safe. And then at Fort Lauderdale, we also got very lucky where there was like maybe a 20-minute wait, and that was it. So yes, I can see both chats now. TSA didn't stop y'all. Man, I guess I can learn from y'all. I do have a history with TSA, but they didn't do anything with me this time.
Also, while we have both chats up, Mark, I just want to show you this. And this.
Holy
And
moly.
this was all while we were live.
All right, I'll give these thank yous on Corey's behalf, and then Corey can repeat all of them when Corey gets back, okay? So Borgos is going to have to scroll through these slowly. But W. Ander for the 3 bits, 1 bit equal 3 seconds, and then with the 31 bits, holy moly, Ander with the 15 bits, donating away in the chat that's not being read, Ander with the 5 bits, Simpy with the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 bits, Ames was 792 bits. Holy moly. Corey's never ending this stream. Ander with the 97 bits. Y'all are wild. And I think that's us caught up. Corey will hopefully thank you all again. But thank you all for supporting Corey's endeavors. Mark can barely read 1 chat. Now you're expecting him to read 2 chats, SMH.
Technically, it's 3.
Yeah. Listen, I'm doing my best here. There's a rule that the Twitch timer can't be more than 34. I should really read to the end of Hayden's comments before I start reading Hayden's comments out loud. I need to ingrain that in. New rule of thumb: read the comment before speaking the comment.
You want me to look that up, Corey? Rule 34.
Click on that link. Click on it.
No.
The one that says Hotline Miami. Click on it.
I'm not taking that bit that far. I'm not going on to rule34.xxx.
I don't know what that means. For those of you who don't know, Rule 34 is an internet rule which states that if there is a character that exists, that there is not safe for work material of that character. So yeah, you would be impressed how much Rule 34 applies to. And Ander with the bit. Yes, I should have just defaulted to Hayden explaining it. I shouldn't have tried to explain it. I should have just defaulted to experts. I didn't ask LOL. I learned my lesson with BBC. With a British broadcast channel? What'd they do wrong? Come on, they're funding independent art. They can't be that bad. Oh, golly. Trying to think if there are any other notable films. And Melvibe converted a Prime to a Tier 1 sub. Whoa, W Melvibe. I'm stalking Corey's channel and reading all of his chats. They might have thought they were safe subscribing when Corey wasn't here and only Mark was live on Board Gamers, but you're not safe. I'm calling you out and thanking you. We did talk yesterday about Board Games Live fanfic. Guys, the community is too small. If it's on the internet, we can track down which one of you did it, okay? There's not enough of you to hide an ambiguity, so nobody get any ideas. We will find you and ban you. Let's see, so the other documentaries I saw, I saw 2 climbing documentaries, which were pretty cool. I didn't talk about them as depth, because I know people don't care about climbing as much as I do. But one of them was really neat. It was a woman who lost her legs and decided to summit Kilimanjaro without legs. And it was very impressive.
Hold on, say that again. What about Kilimanjaro?
She summited Kilimanjaro without legs.
Oh, wow.
Yes. And the prosthetics were too painful. So what she did instead was basically kind of sat on the ground and used her arms to like push and kind of guide herself up the mountain like that.
That makes sense because it's not a particularly technical climb. It's a mostly endurance climb, so that's a good one to choose. It's a lot of walking though. Like it's just a long trek.
Yes, it was very long. Her hands got like very messed up and blistered. It was kind of concerning. But she was very, very dedicated. And she was there at the festival, which was super cool. She was at a few of the events. Jeremy's saying if there's Board Gamers Live fanfic, there's 5 suspects max. I don't even think the number's that high, I'll be honest. It'd be generous to say 2 suspects. We're leaving in 10 seconds, so you guys got here, lol. We're leaving when Corey gets back, so I don't know when that's gonna be. Maybe Corey will text me.
His timer sends 10 minutes. I told him to call me when he gets back. I think he'll be a hair later than that.
Makes sense. Andy Lizzing with the sub on a 7-month streak. Holy moly. W Andy Lizzing. There's 5 suspects and 4 of them are Hayden. Yes, that is a good way to put that. It's like, yes, this is Hayden or one of the many alt accounts. He would never be late. Look, there might be circumstances outside of his control that are fully in his control that he's choosing to do. But yeah, the one documentary was about the lady summiting Kilimanjaro with no legs, and then the other one, it was framed as a documentary, but it actually ended up being the first 2 episodes of a currently unreleased series I think is going on HBO called The Dark Wizard. And I kind of made a point to not read any of the descriptions of the films I was signing up for the most part. Sometimes I did. I kind of just went in blind. And with the Dark Wizard, I'm like, that sounds stupid. I don't know what that is, and I ignored it at first. I did read that already, Borgest. But then my friend Mitch, who was there, convinced me to go see it, our director of photography. Which, by the way, 8-day trip with our director of photography, Mitch. Spent a lot of time with them, walking together, talking, chatting. Not once did I refer to them as Mitch by accident. Not once did I slip up and call them Mitch. I was really nervous that I was going to. W Mark, let's go. I would have had to explain to them. I'd had to like awkwardly explain. It's like, well, I do this live stream. There's this guy. Mitch. I accidentally called him Mitch 4 times. Yeah, I did do that one, just not Mitch. But anyway, the Dark Wizard was about Dean Potter was the name, who was a very famous free soloist and just extreme sports person in general, who invented a bunch of extreme sports, such as they did free soloing a lot, but the issue with free soloing is because you don't want to die. If you don't know, free soloing is when you climb without ropes and safety equipment. Because you don't want to die when doing these free solo climbs, you climb well below your threshold of like what your normal climbing ability is. So what he did to increase the threshold of difficulty that he could do while not having ropes and safety equipment, he wore a parachute with him and invented, I forget the name of the sport, but invented free soloing with a parachute, which is a different branch of free soloing, so you could do tougher climbs. Harry Potter, his dad? No, it was Dean Potter, the Dark Wizard. Free basing. Thank you, Board Ghost. Extreme sports. Telling your wife or sister's attractive. Why'd I read that one? I didn't have to read that one. Mark, did you see that me and Ames met IRL yesterday? No, I did not. What did you guys post about that? Was that in general? I did not see that. That's super cool. Was it an arranged meetup or is it happenstance, like with Ander? Oh yeah, we had lunch. Yo, that is so cool. I am super glad to hear that. It was in subs only. I don't check there sometimes. I'm pretty good at checking the channels that I do check. But yeah, that is actually so cool. I'm so glad that people are able to meet up outside the community. I was driving through our area. Yo. For like a work trip or something like that. Yeah, that's super cool. I'm so glad that like people in this community are friendly with each other and friends outside of when we're live, that you guys do like the game nights and everything and just like chat on your own. I think is like genuinely so cool. I'm so glad that you guys have this community. Were you highlighting the prediction message, Board Ghost, or were you just...
No, I was just putting it back up. But
okay.
Yeah, there's apparently, I think it's ended, but there was a prediction over on Corey's channel, I believe, of when he gets back.
Country and I had coffee plans, but he stood me up. I heard about that. That's ridiculous, Country. After this totally real plan that was made, you're gonna stand Heather up? Ridiculous. Visited some family, so stopped on my way home. It was very nice. Oh, that's awesome. So rude. That's what we're saying. I'm the worst. Well, that's enough spreading fake rumors about Maz. But I'll make the rant quick about the Dark Wizard. Basically, he's this guy really into extreme sports and doing all these extreme things, and it was like a spiritual journey for him. Like he said, his first memory was a vision of him falling to his death, and he's dreamed of falling to his death all his life. And when he's falling with the crows, and the crows are his spirit animal. And he has like a spiritual connection to like all crows, and he expresses his spiritual connection to the world through these extreme sports. And people talk about him like, oh yeah, Dean had this dark energy to him, which is where he gets the name, the Dark Wizard. And then in episode 2, they bring in Alex Honnold, who, if you're not aware, is the best free soloist ever.
He's the guy.
He is the guy of free soloing who started his career after Dean Potter and was actually inspired by Dean Potter. And while Dean has this whole like dark energy and, you know, like this spiritual connection to the world, Alex Honnold makes Excel sheets breaking down what move he's going to do when to climb a wall. And he goes, yep, I solved this climb. And then he goes and does it. And he goes, well, I did it. On to the next one. And it is just a complete 180 tone shift between these two. As you hear, my teeth are falling out. Maybe it's a sign. Maybe that's how you're meant to go, like how Dean Potter is meant to go falling. He's autistic. Certainly Alex Honnold is.
Alex Honnold? I've actually seen a lot of clips like of interviews specifically about that.
That makes a lot of sense. So Alex Honnold is a decent bit younger than Dean Potter, and when he was starting his climbing career, went to Yosemite National Park to follow in Dean Potter's footsteps. And he got to these climbs that he saw his idol doing, and then he just did them. And they were interviewing him. He's like, yeah, it was that moment I found out that, you know, Dean wasn't a legendary climber. He's just a climber like me. Dean hated this guy. Dean absolutely despised Alex Honnold, who is this dork who didn't like do illicit substances or anything, had none of the spiritual stuff, was making Excel sheets and beating Dan's records on these like historic climbs that he did, and he's casually doing them. Be like, yeah, it wasn't that bad. It's just an average climb, you know. And then my absolute favorite one was one of the climbs that made Dean famous. There's this incredibly narrow crack in a wall that they were using to climb, and if you haven't seen outdoor climbers climb using cracks before, basically what they do is they'll wedge in fingers, their fists, like feet, anything that they can. They'll wedge them into these cracks. Like they'll put their hand in and form a fist so it can't pull out, and use that as leverage to pull up to the next part in the crack. Boreamers Live is actually just an excuse for all of us to info dump about our special interests, Marcus climbing. Yeah, you got me. It is actually that. Hee hee ha. Gotcha. But there was the one that Dean climbed. It was this incredibly thin crack that was like with this very hard and sharp rock. And how he had to climb it was he had to lose his right shoe. He had to take his right shoe off so that he could wedge his toes into the crack because it wouldn't fit if he had shoes on. So he had to take his right shoe off, and then his hands were so bloodied and charred, like just the skin was sheared off by like wedging it into this thin crack, that he had to bring Vicodin with him, and mid-climb was popping Vicodin through his bloodied, shaking hands to continue the climb. And then Alex Honnold just comes along and climbs it normally. He climbs it normally and he goes, yeah, so I don't really get why he was doing all that stuff with the Vicodin and losing the shoe. Like, you can just climb it.
Bro's being dramatic.
Bro's being really dramatic. And then Alex Honnold continued to roast him. It was so brutal. Because the thing is, Alex Honnold is the best. You can't refute anything he's saying because he's the best. There's no argument against him. He's better than you. And they were talking about how he has all these like records and achievements with bass soloing, like the climbing with the parachute and doing tightrope walking without safety equipment and with the parachute. And Alex Honnold goes, well, yeah, it's easy to be the best at something when you're the only person doing it. He's like, of course he's the best. No one else is doing this crap. And they showed him footage of Dean Potter climbing this really difficult climb with a parachute. He climbed Faces of the Eiger with a parachute.
Wait, The Eiger?
The Eiger,
You're not
yes.
getting out of the Eiger with a parachute, dude.
Oh yeah, he nearly died during that
Yeah,
one. It was-
everyone nearly died. You can show up to the Eiger. Yeah, it's like the craziest climb ever. Sorry, Corey. Mark.
It was really bad. Yeah, Alex Honnold just goes, well, yeah, that's kind of cool, but wouldn't it be cooler if he just did the climb without the parachute? It's like, sheesh, man. Let him rest. Bob Igor. No, Bob Hieronymus. How many times do I have to say this?
And I know a lot about the Eiger. That's probably my favorite mountain of all time. The north you said the north face of the Eiger, not the south side.
I don't know what side he was at. He was at a rock face of the Eiger.
If it was the face of the Eiger, it's the north face of the Eiger, which is like a giant bowl. There's a nickname for it. It's something in Swiss, but it's something like the bowl of death.
Bolognese. Like his nan used to make.
That's exactly right.
Yeah,
No. So
bunch of Italians found the Eiger. Sorry, I'm interrupting. Not that I haven't talked enough already today.
I think the Italians were almost the first up. I think it was Matterhorn, which I think is the tallest in the Alps. I'm not sure about that. But the Eiger is a special case because the north face of the Eiger is on the north face. And for those of you who live in or know a lot about the northern hemisphere of the planet Earth, the north side of things don't receive a lot of sun. In fact, the north face of the Eiger never receives any sun at all. So the south side, it's a nice little gallivant up. It's a tough climb, no doubt, right? But you can walk most of the way up. It's pretty sloped. You only have to do hand over hand climbing for portions of it. It gets sun, it melts, it thaws, and sometimes there'll be brutal winds that hit that side of the mountain. But then they skip over the top of the mountain. And then they go straight down the funnel on the north side of the mountain because it's literally a bowl. It's a cylinder all the way around almost. And it creates unique tornadoes inside where the wind might only be 20 or 40 miles an hour outside of on the south face of the Eiger. On the north face of the Eiger, it'll be hurricane force winds on the north face, just going straight down, across, sideways. It'll snow just on the north face of the Eiger. If you jump off of the parachute, you can't catch wind. I don't know why you would try that.
It's worse. It's worse than what you're describing because Dean Potter was in a very angsty mood that day. He was going through a bad divorce and a lot of controversies in his life. And he's like, I just want to get this climb done. So he went out.
No, not the Eiger.
He went out on a foggy morning, meaning he wouldn't have any visibility. You can't base jump without visibility. It was certain death if he fell. There was no point in him having that parachute. And first off, I should establish Dean Potter is dead. He died climbing, and I don't know when he died climbing. So I knew at any point the footage we watched could be his last footage. And there's a actually horrifying moment as he's climbing the Eiger where the cameraman's above him. I don't want to spoil it. I want to watch the documentary. Actually, I don't care about spoilers. Never mind. When did Potter die? 43. Okay, base jumping incidents. That makes sense. Oh, you know what? I did hear about this. I did know about his death beforehand. Okay. Oh, but anyway, story I was saying, he's climbing, he's nearly inverted on this rock. The camera's above him, and you see him reach up for a hold, and his hand kind of hit and weakly slide down. And if you've ever climbed before, which I have, you recognize that kind of movement of when somebody reaches for something kind of out of reach and does that weak slide off. They don't have the energy or the positioning to do that. There's no, in general, there's no try again and recover. When you see that movement, they're not getting past that point. They are going to fall. It was the motion that somebody makes when it is hopeless for them to continue. And you're looking at him in the middle of fog on the Eiger, nearly inverted, holding on, and you see him do that move, and it's like, oh, he's dead. What's going to happen? He is dead at this point. And you just hear him go, Dan, who's the name of the cameraman? He's like, Dan, I need rope. I need rope now. Dan, I need rope now. And Dan, trying to stay calm, is like, I'm working on it, I'm working on it. He's like, throw the damn rope, which he couldn't do, because if he threw the rope, it would hit him, which would knock him off the face. So he had to do a controlled descent of it. And luckily, he lived. But really, he shouldn't have. Like, he really should have died there. It's a complete miracle that he's alive.
And also, I saw a documentary just on Eiger, the town. So there's a town at the foot of the mountain that popped up there when, surprise, surprise, the British showed up and started trying to climb it. And the attitude in this town is a very strange, macabre fascination with the mountain because it claims multiple lives a month. To this day, people die like every week there. So every single hotel, it's literally like 10 buildings out in the middle of the Alps. And every single building is just a flat structure with hotel rooms on the south side facing the north side of the Eiger. And people will just sit there all day long and wait to watch somebody die. So if you're having a bad day... Say again?
It's a cool pastime.
Cool. Fascinating pastime. There are people who live there. They're very strange people.
Man, today sucks, but at least I'm not that dead guy.
It's like, yeah, it's just these really weird, mostly Swiss people who are like, yeah, cool. Just like watching people fall to their death and take on one of, like, it is an affront to God. That mountain will turn on you faster than any other mountain anywhere else in the world, maybe the Andes.
I have not seen 14 Peaks documentary, but I am interested in that now. But, Borgos, I did see you receive a call. Does that mean Corey is back and we've been yapping over top of him being back?
No, actually, he is just sat down at his computer, so we probably have another minute or two, but he should be just about ready.
I think we are good to pay out the Mark doesn't stop yapping believers. Even though I took a breath to let Borgos have a tangent, I don't think that constitutes Mark stopping yapping.
I don't know. We didn't play any games. Does that technically mean you never stopped yapping?
We did not play a single game, so I think that was the main factor. We never played games. I just yapped the whole time. Raid the nerd.
Hold on. Just so that Heather can get her points. You got one?
Oh my goodness. Well, okay, well this feels stilted. At that point, we should just return them. All right, I got one. Borgos, you're gonna have to guess along with the people. Speed this up. But I do have one.
Can I do this real quick?
Yes or no questions. We'll raid out into core immediately after this. Obama, it's not Obama. Amount of time I've listened to Mark, it's worth
Zendaya.
it. Come on. Not Zendaya, no. Male, yes. Bob Iger, no. Chatbot, no. Over 30, yes. White, yes. Tom Holland, no. Zendaya 2, no. It is a white male,
2.
typical.
Zendaya 2.
Fictional, no.
Alex.
Maybe I should have chosen an easier one for this.
Honnold.
Good guess, but no, it's not Alex Honnold.
Rob Lowe.
Rob Lowe, no, it's not Corey. Dead.
Corey.
I don't think they're dead. Actor.
Alex.
Not really. Actually, yes, actually. They are most known for something they acted in.
Is it a climber?
It's not a climber. Hold on, I need to look up if they're still alive. All right, I think they're alive. Movie? Not really a movie. Maybe they are famous for acting in a film of sorts. Short film? It was short. It was shot on film.
TV.
It's been played on TV many a times. Not Mark.
Mark.
Not Mark. Come on, you guys are really close. The porn guy. No. Come on.
The porn guy?
You Hefner, no. No, not related to porn. Come on, you guys are really close. He's famous for being in a film that is certainly short. Maybe not a short film. Shut up, chatbot. Household name? Nope, definitely not. Definitely not at all. But maybe who they acted as is a household name in this little short duration film that was filmed with them acting. George Miles. I can't believe you guys aren't getting this. This shouldn't be going this long. Put Corey on the mic. Where's Maz? It might be relevant. to a name we've talked about a decent bit today. Maybe you don't know that they acted in this thing. Short Man? Yeah, I think.
Because you're live.
Hey,
on my channel.
hey, Corey, you're live.
Yeah. Oh shit, I'm live.
You're
Yeah,
live.
yeah, we're phoning a friend.
Yeah.
All right. It's an actor from a
Okay.
short movie.
No, it's not a movie.
No, not a movie.
It's a film, and it wasn't a short film.
Is it, ooh, I just learned about this as a fun fact earlier today. Is it Bob Hemmings or
It's
something?
Bob Hieronymus! He got it! Yay! I knew Corey would know it. It is, in fact, Bob Hieronymus, the actor who played Bigfoot. It's Bigfoot.
Bigfoot!
W. Corey. He knows me. He knows me well. All right, with that being
Believe it
said,
or not, when Mark yapped for an hour straight, I did listen.
woo, let's go. All right, we're going to raid out into Corey. Corey, best of luck with your live.
Hey, see everybody in a second.
I love the Bigfoot thing. Raid. Pay me. I don't know how I feel about this payout. I'll let Board Ghost make the call on how to pay this thing out.
Mark, are you done yapping?
I'm done yapping. It's a moment of silence.
Complete prediction. Congratulations, Heather. The haters have been silenced. All right.
All right. Well, good night, everyone. On my end, please go enjoy the Blimby Marathon. Very excited for it. It was very fun last night. Looking forward to what Blimby continues doing. Hopefully more karaoke. Good night, y'all.